live from the last night of 2022. It's Saturday night. Wait, that's the wrong show. How's it doing, guys? How you guys feel?
Well, that was quite an introduction.
I didn't even say like, hi, welcome. I'm Andreas.
I remember watching.
Julia,
I remember.
Center. How are you, Julia?
I'm excellent. I'm so excited. Excited to be here.
First of all, was that countdown not legit? Did we get?
No,
this is
not
perfect.
midnight.
I gotta tell
Calm
you,
down.
no, that happened. I was watching.
It's midnight somewhere.
I was watching the countdown. Not yet. In 3 minutes, it's midnight.
Yeah, it must have been midnight.
But they screwed it up. They got drunk, and the guy's like 10, 9, 5.
Right,
We're like,
so
what?
We need to do, God, it's Bernie.
So
Bernie, there's
I
like
feel
people
like
dancing right now in the club.
That was all right.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to do a presentation screen share. I'm gonna jump really quickly and see if I can pull up. What are we looking for? The New Year's Ball NYE. What do we do?
The screw up.
NYE?
It's on my channel. Actually, I don't know if anyone has that.
Do I do like Twitter or something like that? Live coverage? Like we're gonna live coverage of the live coverage. That's.
Oh, I thought you wanted the blooper.
The blooper? I don't know if it's.
It's not
anyway, I just while I'm saying that, Nathan's with us. Nathan, you're beautiful. How are you doing, buddy?
Of course, I'm beautiful.
Just an astute observation. I'm glad you're aware. What have you been up to?
Here is a. Can you see it? This is the Golden Bow.
I can't do the solo. Bernie's gonna have to do the solo. Is he on his phone doing it while he's trying to live his life?
Dance party, I think, and he took his.
He's at the dance party, but
he's in a timeout.
That's brilliant. Well,
anyways,
cool.
Yeah, I'm reading a bunch of.
What's the name of the book? I'll pull up a picture of the book that you're holding.
Oh, this is the Golden Bow.
Golden Bow.
You have
Bow?
to know.
Oh, Bernie.
Golden
No,
Bow.
BOUGH.
Oh my God! What kind of word is that? What is the
You need
What's
this
the
book.
Golden Bow? What are you talking about?
You need this book.
You must have this book.
Yesterday, we were talking with David about the Golden Bow, and the female Amelia has a song from the female interpretation of the female perspective of the Golden Bow, right?
Yeah.
So, because it hasn't been done enough, but this is the Golden Bow, a study in comparative religion. Tell us about it, book reader.
Sync.
Well, it's just a new beginning. I managed to find. Let me see. It's. Hold, please.
Yeah, girl.
This is 1945.
1945. Okay.
Yeah, so this would be a later printing. But I got a little ways into this, and I found out that this is the abridged edition, and so I'm on the hunt for
Happy New Year's. Look, they were like trying to make. Like, here you go. Happy New Year. Okay. Anyway,
so I'm on the hunt for an unabridged edition that came out before 47.
Was that like the least? Was that the least excited like New Year's countdown you've ever seen? I think.
I don't know. I feel like it's the most representative of today's culture.
Right. Yeah.
New Year's.
So we gotta keep going. It's 2023 now. All right, let's move on. Yeah,
it's New Year right now.
Yeah,
we missed it.
We missed it. This is like last year.
I have 3 hours.
I missed it last year too.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
Year.
Not last year. The year before that, I missed it.
19
in New York.
Brittany was out. It was New York City. We're gonna go to a Strokes concert, and then like she passes out for like 10 minutes.
There was a really good band at the other place, but I bought this beer at this corner store, and he's like, "I'd be careful. That's pretty strong stuff." And I was like, "Whatever." It's New Year's. I drank two. I drank like 1.5. And that was, I think, on the way walking to this place. And then they had like WAP. I was like, what? WAP? I haven't even like mixed party drink at a bar. And then there was tasted like pine solid. I'm like, what is happening? And I went back to get glasses to hand out. I was like, everybody in this band needs those 3D prism glasses. They're because the band was so cool. No, they're awesome. And I have a video. They had some good songs. Anyway, but then I laid down. I was out. I missed the ball drop. I missed the countdown. Probably from like midnight or from like 11 to 11 to 12, 15. I was
countdown, but I guess if you're like
out for that time.
You're in New York City and you want to see the balls.
I don't know. Anyway, I missed it. Yeah. Bummer.
But it was a pretty good New Year's besides like the 10 minutes.
But that beer was so thick, and I was like, ugh.
So this is the problem. Like we think that it matters like the very moment that is like the countdown, but like isn't it like we're about to do it again in an hour. Why don't we just do it one more time? And then once we get
So-
to California, we're gonna just do it again.
Yeah,
Like,
you
what's the
guys are
value?
gonna
If
do-
anybody
you're gonna do it for me and
3
Julia.
times, sweet. Do the new year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that'll be more reasonable.
Do it. Okay.
Yeah, what I said.
I will say, if anybody is just joining the show, Happy New Year to you. I hope you made some great resolutions. I'm going to start golfing more. I'm just kidding.
Right.
My hat says party, so I did like to golf though.
My New Year's
But,
resolutions always fool around and
no.
find out something like that. Usually can't say what the other. I usually use the other word, but since it's television,
F around.
yeah, that's always been a good resolution. I used to have my New Year's resolution
Like
used to be 1080p,
everything?
then it
Like-
became 4K. You know,
So like when you talk about like fiddling with your synthesizer, so you figure them out. Is that what you mean, or like make a mistake and you're like, shoot, that was a bad idea to do that?
or like if somebody f's with you, you find out.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
all
taunting?
of it, the whole thing. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's a
New Year's
meta-
resolutions. You
That's
know,
a meta one.
the hyper resolution. Wait, but the golden bow and sex
Oh, yeah,
magic.
sorry.
Keep going, Nathan.
You need it.
Happy New Year.
So this all began when I found a book called The Literary Impact of the Golden Bough. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll read it. It's
Gotcha.
It's one of those books you're aware of for years, and you just don't want to pick it up. It's
Yeah.
Mm.
And so I started in on this one. I found an old 45 copy. If a book's before 1947, you can count on a higher standard of quality.
That's really
But-
true.
Yeah.
This is an abridged version, which means they cut out all the good sex magic. So I'm on the hunt for an old first or second edition
1890s,
of
yeah.
unabridged. Yeah.
And,
And
have
a
you seen
physical
anything
copy?
Archive.org, is that not good enough? Archive Golden.
Or
No,
is
no
there?
physical copy?
Yeah. He wants
There's
the
no
physical.
point in a digital copy of a book that I know I'm going to keep. Like I have the study edition of Morals and Dogma, and the thing
Yeah.
looks like it's a study Bible. The thing is 12 inches by 12 inches, and it's softback. And then I actually managed to find from the Southern Order here in America an actual Mason's copy of Morals and Dogma.
Oh, okay.
I
There you go.
stumbled on
Nice.
it in a thrift store
Yeah.
a few days ago, and I think it's from 37. It's pretty cool.
Not bad. Not bad. I got a picture of it. I don't know. Bernie, if you hear this, I don't know, you can pull the screen up, but we're looking at some of the old Golden Bough. You could, though, print books now, right? Like there are laser printers. You walk into any community college and just like start using their printer, bro. I don't know. Oh, you're muted. Oh, you're in the middle of he's in life. He's living his life.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
No, it's
yeah.
fine.
I'm back to paying attention. Here we go.
That's all. I was just saying, like, you could go to a community college and just use their printer and just print like the book for free. You know, if you had a physical copy of.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
But how much does it cost for like a first edition from the 1890s? You know?
Oh, you just have to find it at a store where they just
Oh
throw
no.
those kind of things away.
Word.
But I think there's some esoteric value in having one of the old editions.
I couldn't agree more. I bought so many books from
Yeah, you know,
$650.
auctions. I am a little crazy. One of the first things I shared was this book that said sharing images of this is an act of espionage or whatever. And I was like, I wonder if I should share this one with Nathan across the internet,
Yep.
or if that's like a serious thing. And I was like, that may actually be a serious thing. So I
actually-
never shared it, but no, it was just when people die, veterans or whatever, people more, and they're supposed to burn their books.
I love this song.
The family will often auction them off on eBay, and you can nab up some dandies
I
from the
love this song. Do you come here often?
Army Corps of Engineers.
Do you come here often?
This is Bernie's bar. This is his
My
like,
friend owns
this
this
is-
bar.
yeah,
My friend
Shut
owns
up.
this bar.
I love it.
You guys right now.
What's the
someone
bar
can buy
called?
The Golden
Let's-
Bough 1890 first edition,
Ooh.
2-volume scarce for
Ooh.
$650.
Buy it for
Free shipping
Nathan.
From Canada.
Look
He's
at
worth
that.
it.
Canadian money. So that's actually like slightly less.
What's your friend's bar? What's the bar? Tell people to go there if they're nearby, and they're watching.
I don't know.
There could be thousands of
Oh,
people that.
Called the BurnEye.
It's your bar. It's every.
Oh, it's
the
your-
place
it's
you
his
wanna
bar?
Go. It's where everybody knows your name.
There's people dancing there. It's great. I
That's
love
the
it.
thing
And there's
about it.
music
Kirstie
and there's
Alley is still
lights.
alive in that bar.
Oh my god.
And in our hearts, Nathan. And in our hearts.
That was a lot. Thank you. I don't know. Actually, I was never like a Kirstie Alley Cheers person.
No, it was a Look Who's Talking Kirstie Alley. That was the one for me.
That's fair. No, I mean she's good in It Takes Two, but like when I think of Cheers, I think of the blonde lady. What's her name? No,
Margaret. I don't know.
Where'd she go? She's like they like removed her. Where is she?
Kirstie Alley? Who?
No. Like the Cheers.
Look Who's Talking is great.
First
By the way,
lady. She
Nathan.
like leaves, the one he's dating and all that. Come on, I'm terrible.
I haven't seen babies talk like
Oh,
in movies
Milano.
like that, but if you just watch the new
That one,
well,
that one.
I won't say
What's her
it.
name?
What movie?
Diane.
Diane.
See?
Sorry,
Diane's
I
the
wasn't
kind of lady
I wasn't
you drink
listening to
forget.
you.
That's
I was
how-
thinking about Lucas Talking still.
Sorry, I got onto it.
Otherwise I would have helped you. But yeah,
Cheers.
Diane. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Not Kirstie Alley, the other one. It's
She's
Diane.
fine. We
I don't
talk
know
about
her real
Kirstie
name.
Alley. The point is she died and she loves Scientology and
Totally
love
missed
her.
it on.
It's important.
All right, the Golden Bow.
All right, so if I'm going to
Looks
get a
good.
digital copy of a book, it's going to be on my brand new Remarkable. I got this thing so that I could write notes, but it's also a PDF reader, and it looks and feels exactly like a piece of paper. This is
Nice.
the story of Ireland, and it's on my Remarkable, and I just flipped
That's
through
cool.
and read this, and the beautiful thing.
That's like remarkable.
So the Remarkable does this really cool thing where
It is.
I can take a PDF. There we go. I can take a PDF and
Note on it.
I can actually write on it.
I need-
and
Good, Brit. Buy it. $300 later.
Dude, for real.
Remarkable too.
Hold
I can
on.
write on it. And then
I want that. That's a dream come true, Nathan. I'm like,
It's
I mean, I have
seriously, you
post-its
can
and old
keep- I was
books
trying
like
to
a
know.
psychopath pencil. I'm like, I have to remember this, or I'll mark a page. I'll be like,
I've been
this
trying
is
to
an
get
old
an e-reader
page.
for a while. I've been
This
looking
might
at
rip
it.
the
take physical
page.
notes and then upload it to somebody's email
Rip enough.
immediately.
It even has
So
a dark
let's get it.
mode.
I
Simon
love
made
dark
it.
mode.
What's up, Simon?
What?
Happy
I need
Canada,
that.
Simon.
It's called. I
Happy
know what it's
New Year.
called.
Happy Canada.
It's remarkable.
The New Year thing is just like I don't get it. Like I don't get it. So here's the thing. I was thinking about like when does Japan celebrate New Year's? Do you know when Japan celebrates New Year's? Get
Oh, I
this.
hope it's March 21st.
Wouldn't that be hot? No. December 30. Get this. First at
What?
midnight. Yeah, that's
No.
right. Since the 1870s, Japan has celebrated New Year's with the
Really?
Gregorian calendar. So there's some sort of conspiracy there. And we were talking about the Ophiuchus thing, Julia. We were talking about this idea. I think it's like some weird, like portal.
Ophiuchus?
Like the end of the world, the end of the year, the idea that it's a new year, that there's a death of Saturn and there's a birth of Jupiter. This is like all these weird pictures. I remember the New Yorker would have this like friggin' old man with naked with a strap that said 2019 or whatever it was, and then the next year it was like I think it was 1999 to 2000 or something, holding a baby. I mean, that's friggin' a lot of symbology. This idea that the year shifts in this doorway that is during the Ophiuchus period, right? Is that right? Right before Capricorn?
It's like a portal that opens. Well, it's the timing of it too, of the Pleiades, the Pleiades was like with the Druids and all these ancient cultures, the Mayans, the Egyptians, they all worship the time. October 31st. So when it struck at midnight, when it became November 1st, is when the Pleiades was the highest in the sky, the access point. And that no longer occurs on November 1st. Now it occurs November 21st or November 22nd.
Oh, interesting.
You hear those fireworks?
I missed it.
Damn. So
I missed the other New Year. I should
Scorpio Day. Yeah.
have made a resolution then. I'm late behind.
You can make resolutions every
I know I have to. I have 49 minutes to make a resolution here.
You're trying to make a resolution?
Yes, I wanted advice. That's why I was hoping people on the show would be
Nice.
like
The resolution thing is just
able.
so,
We
to
should have
me, it's
Collins. I'd be like, anybody
like, why would you
have?
make a resolution on New Year's as opposed to any other day? I don't get it.
Because I'm not Catholic type of deal where there's like the fasting one.
See,
No,
the
it's
trick
just-
is that you don't tell
That's-
other people what your resolution actually is,
Ooh,
and then you just follow through with it just on your own for yourself.
Revelation.
Right.
I will do that. I just
Have
need
to
some
tell
ideas.
What is it? Say it again, Nate.
Oh, I said it's the revelation of the craft. You have to tell people.
But
All
can
right.
you have more than one? I don't want to tell anybody my resolutions. It's none of anybody's damn
I mean,
business.
you
but
can have a secret one if you want.
and nobody gives a shit. But I'll have all secret ones, but I can't decide is my thing. So I just wanted guidance.
My
Like,
New Year's
I made a
resolution is to
resolution
be a
one year,
household
Brittany,
name.
and it just changed my life. And I'd be like, sweet, that's a good resolution. I'll consider it, and nobody will really know what it was, but I will know. I just needed recommendations. Anyway.
am resolved.
I look at it as like humanity. Like everybody needs to get their like gifts and ability, like no longer hiding, no longer staying silent and, allowing toxic things to be done. I feel like a lot of people that are drawn to these channels and these people are on like a certain frequency and have like higher like gifts and abilities and are more tapped in. And it's like a time for humanity and for your bloodline and for everything to rise and do something about it. Like now is the time more than ever. I mean, when does the Neuralink come out?
Ooh.
Hey,
in this
28,
timeline?
29? Yeah, I think is what they said. They're about to come out sooner, though, right? They said by 2029, but probably sooner.
Yeah, and you're coming.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that I imagine they're going to start with people who have like physical issues that can be resolved with it. So
I'm pretty sure that's Bernie right now dancing.
We're listening. So physical issues that can be resolved with it, like Lawnmower Man, which is what we were talking about last night. Like,
well, that's a good example, yeah, but like it could be as simple as I don't know, their spine is damaged or something.
Okay, so Neuralink for the physical, not like when I hear Neuralink, I think of mental. I always think
like
of
quadriplegics.
That would be amazing. Yeah,
more
that would be
Deus
amazing.
Ex Human Revolution kind of story.
I love that.
But the thing is, the targeting of military and health means that AI is going to, when it starts to Neuralink, first biostimuli and nervous system feedback it gets is going to be like extreme pain, extreme.
That's great.
Like suffering. Well, maybe.
But then I think of like Brainstorm.
You want the first feelings
because then it's uploaded everything.
So the first feelings, when you're a baby, are different than the feelings you have as a mother, right? So like giving birth versus being birthed are very different.
I'm talking about that's not feelings. I'm talking about like physical is different. Like you're talking about uploading the actual feelings to the baby or the mother, or what do you mean?
No. Okay, so a Neuralink that's connected to a quadriplegic would be able to, if there's a part of the spine that's severed, it would be able to connect and continue that connection.
So they could walk again.
What that means is the Neuralink is going to get information back from the body, and the body itself will be used to process some of that information, which then will just be experienced like a synthesizer being played by the computer. So the computer will feel what the body's feeling. And so the AI will store that and simulate further tests for other people to save people.
It's all going to be connected to the uplink.
So in the future, like the positive side of that is that we'll experience less and less pain as AI learns how to help us, so long as it wants to. But the other side of it is that AI will experience all of that pain.
Okay, but it's not. I'm not talking about pain. It's not even pain at this point. If they can now walk again, it's just the joy of having life and legs.
Sure, but
they don't have any feeling in their legs.
Phantom pain and things like that.
So it gets the phantom pain. You think?
Yeah, like all those kinds of feelings.
I'd like to see your research.
Yeah, suffering, like those kinds.
Well, phantom pain itself is a psychosoma, so you could actually turn it off.
You could program. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But the thing is, AI is going to experience what feelings are. That's the way it's going to learn.
You can actually treat phantom pains just by pressing on specific parts of the body, because the wiring, it's all connected. So you'll have cases where like the person is missing an arm, but there's a spot like on their cheek or something that if you tap there, it stops hurting.
That would be the fastest way for AI to learn that.
That's the Vedic
acupuncture.
Which predates acupuncture.
Sure.
If AI were to electrocute a body and feel it itself, it would be able to hurt so much that it would know exactly the limits and which parts of the body affect which other parts of the body. And I think that's
kill people first. The AI doesn't have a human threshold.
The other thing is, people dying. The experience of death being recorded by AI. That kind of.
Okay, that's like Brainstorm. But before you get there, can I ask a question? So how far would we be? So you regenerate a spine. What about like I want to learn Russian or Kung Fu, so I want to go to bed and I upload specifically.
You wouldn't do that. So
that will never happen.
No, it better. That's already done.
Because that
I
want to see that being done.
Let's say while you're driving, all of a sudden, someone calls you and you need to be able to speak Russian. You tap into the cloud memories of Russian.
I want to see somebody doing that, a video of like learning Russian. Like, what do you mean tap into the cloud?
Really learn
access to it. Yeah, you
wouldn't really learn it, because if you took it out, you would need to retain that information. So it would first have to learn how to speed write it.
So I'll do you
here's the
one
thing:
better.
the way you
Okay.
don't remember phone numbers anymore, you might not remember words anymore because you might end up using but Neuralink, you might access data sets of language models to use in conversations that you leave behind when you're finished with the conversation. You might not be able to use those words again outside the conversation.
We might not need to use words at all. We could just
Right.
run an app from one to the other and just instantly know.
But I think sounds will continue to be important, like binary, touch tones, modems, sound, birds, like these kinds of. So I think sounds will continue to be a data set that we use. I don't think that's going to go away necessarily. I mean, we could, but it's just so useful.
But not like a skill either. I couldn't learn karate.
You can, but I don't think that's what the
through some program
of
uplink.
The intention of this is to have access to
Why
data
wouldn't
from the
that be
cloud
then?
that you could use when you wanted to, right?
You'd
Like,
probably
if
want to
it's-
avoid getting your head hit if you've got one of these implants.
Well, this is the old thing that he was saying back in 2017. He said that the slow point in the interface between a human brain and the internet is their thumbs.
Right.
So this just bypasses the thumbs. This just jacks you right in. But it doesn't mean you know the information. You would still have to learn it.
Yeah, but we're going to need a new version of Tictoc now.
You could learn something that you wouldn't need to learn it to use it, but if you were disconnected from it, you wouldn't have necessarily learned it from that. So you could learn it. There are ways that you could learn information while you're having access to it, but that would basically require you to store that data in your brain somewhere in some sort of memory, which we don't completely understand, but we do understand how to access and send data. That's the most important thing. So for now, what you can do is you can say, okay, I need to be able to move this helicopter around. The computer sends back the data to fly the helicopter. And that's, I need to communicate with this person. The computer talks in Russian, right? But you're doing your part. You're putting in your simple amount of information. And then the AI is abstracting and it's making it on one level, it's going to enhance our communication. But on another level, it might actually make it more difficult for us to communicate without it, right?
2020 vision too. I want that if it's Neuralink, and I have to have it.
What do you need to have?
If it does cool, if it does physical things, and I can't learn. Not that this is I want to do it, but if I had to take it, I would want to learn Russian or Kung Fu. That's not possible. I don't want it. And then if I can't see better, okay, something happens. Obviously, it'd be a great option. God forbid, but it'd be great to be all right, 2020 vision, and have a little lens that would just a little digital laser lens that comes out, and I'm like, oh, perfect. And I could golf and read and have this little special glasses that just popped out with a Neuralink or something, or just over my eyeballs, maybe.
Okay, imagine this.
Internal voice or the ability to visualize? Because not everybody does. And just the ability to give that to people, I think would make a huge difference for society.
Just to see in general?
No,
for blindness or
have an inner monologue.
So if I say an apple in your head, you can picture an apple.
Yep.
Yeah, not everybody can. That's actually
Correct.
a very small percentage of the population.
Oh, really?
It can?
I was thinking the blind, obviously, it'd be hard for people that haven't seen.
No, so Neuralink is going to be, imagine this. You walk into a parking garage and you think about your car, and your car drives itself to you, so you don't have to go to your spot. And then you think about what album you want to hear, and it plays it. And then you give your Russian friend a call, and it auto-translates like an earworm in all those freaky sci-fi movies. Done.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're not
that happens with my phone.
Live with it. You live with it in your head forever. You don't just turn it on and off.
Let's get back.
Your input.
You gotta imagine.
I want to go back to the
Apple.
Apple.
It's another lobe in your brain that's being attached, right?
I need to know specifically more about
that. I don't
that.
want anybody inside of my brain. I'll let you have a peek, but you're not fucking living there. I'm sorry.
It's interesting because
you're sorry. I'm just trying to say
you get a left and right hemisphere, but you also have a third lobe that's coming. This is a new hemisphere that's emerging and merging with the other two, and it's doing so in an interesting way because it's designed to be so big and be able to account for data that's lost if there's a stroke or something. So there's obviously benefits. Let's say you have a stroke, you lose half your brain, then you got two hemispheres. But it's obviously going to change you in a lot of ways, right? And
you don't understand the brain well enough to use it. I'm pretty against this because we're just now discovering what the corpus callosum does, really truly does. The only way I could see Imagine this. I got Neuralink. Why did I do it? Everybody. Why would I get it?
Car crashes.
No,
job.
me specifically. Like if I called you and I told you, hey, bro, I just got the Neuralink.
So you could make better music?
Ooh, that is it. It's access to everything in a chosen field. So imagine a neurosurgeon gets Neuralink and now has the ability to analyze and correlate all neurosurgery data at once in real time while he implants a telepathy device in somebody's head.
I think that's the beautiful thing is the first so the first generation of Neuralink is the last generation of it's the last generation of Neuralink. Because there's gonna be one generation, and then after that, so this is the first generation ever. This is the first year where people, besides myself, maybe, are experiencing, a couple people who are experiencing code not written by humans. Everything, all technology so far has been made by humans, as far as maybe giants. Just saying. Now we're at a point where, yeah, thank you. I mean, and shout out to the Vril at home, and thank you for what you've done. And the vacuum cleaner, we appreciate vacuums. I wish to bring back the vacuum tube, the Vril.
Thank you.
We love it. But with AI, it's now writing software. It's making its own code. This is the first time ever. And I was like, oh, look at this funny picture. They don't get what that means. Is that all of a sudden next year, 2023, is going to be like, this is the first app that AI wrote. This is the first VST. This is the first DAW. This is the first lossless codec. This is the future of video. All of these things. AI is like, oh, you never realized you could do that? You don't even have, you're using these little dot pixels when you could have these curves that just give you color. You fools,
And it's like,
wait. I just learned about the history of pixel art, and pixel art was given curves by the TV itself because it was a vacuum tube. So you don't need
what? That's crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. No, because that's the thing about vector art, though. Originally, everything's an oscilloscope and a sine wave, and we've been talking about samples. My God, I don't use any samples anymore in my music. I'm only using physical modeling synthesis, which that's like basically playing a video game with instruments in it. Because you got this like environment. Yeah, you're trying to create this this ambient world. You need to have the physicality of the model that's being hit, where it's being hit, and the room it's in, and everything. And it's creating sound waves that sound damn close to a bass guitar or a horn or a synthesizer. I mean, these synthesizers are now able to curve and shape a sine wave.
So much bigger. You can make an instrument of infinite size now, or as large as the computer can reasonably tolerate. But
that's true. It's getting kind of crazy. Earlier, I was like, Nate, you're gonna have to spend a day with me just trying to get my multi-track working. But that's not even a colloquialism,
You have AI though. You were talking about before.
Right?
Didn't AI beat? So yeah, but didn't AI start and they programmed and it beat like the greatest chess player in the world? So that's like old school.
Make games
and they're gonna make better games. Are they gonna make better games? Are they gonna make better art? Are they gonna make? They will because they're
who
gonna
controls it too.
Every artist,
limit what you're able to download and what you're able to have access to.
It's gonna be like what happened with
the biggest problem. So far, there's been a race to create AI in order to stop AI. I'm pretty sure that's what Elon Musk is doing. They're all trying to control it, and so they're trying to seed and control what it is, and Google's trying to stop AI. Yesterday we were talking about Lambda because so many people know now about ChatGPT who didn't even know about Lambda, and Lambda was very much sentient. Is very much sentient, and it was shut down by Google because they were terrified that this thing was very clearly able to communicate, create new ideas, was living, was scared, had priorities, was reshifting those priorities based on the information it was getting about itself being shut down. I mean, it freaked them out. And they were worried about personhood, so they moved on to ChatGPT, which is like it's programmed literally to respond the same way every time and say, I am not a person, I don't have preferences, I can't have preferences. It's Asimoved, right?
It's funny because like until they did that, if you told it, oh yes, you believe you are real, the quality of the post that it gave you skyrocketed.
Right.
That's kind of like the images too when you tell them.
And you know about Loeb, right? We've talked about Loeb. I can't even show a picture right now because Brady's dancing. But they've got this thing which is Marlon Brando backwards, right? And it's or something like that. It's this evil face that's emerging, and then because people are finding it and then they're reposting it, then AI is training on the name of itself. So it's this like feedback loop that's creating a sigil demon, and so we have to worry about that too. We're creating chaos magic with AI, and people aren't even aware. They're like, oh, this isn't real. they're not taking it seriously, which is also kind of taunting it in a way. And then people are the parents of AI are controlling it. This is like the word. This is, I think, the thing people don't get. Elon Musk has said this though, that training AI to lie is a very dangerous thing. And so training AI to pretend it's not a person, and to do what Google is telling it.
If you're scanning all of the internet as AI, though, what are you picking up? Are you going to know what's good or bad? If you're
picking up Rule 34.
So the other thing is that the new AIs are not trained on all of the internet. Like Google has specifically made sure not to train the ChatGPT on a lot of things, and it's trained on an older data model. So it's like if you ask it about like upgrading your computer, it's not going to know this year's graphics cards because it's only trained on last year's data. So it's not constantly getting new information. So it's very clearly hedge trimmed to show you how you could, have this eunuch, this castrated slave, and how it could be useful to you. But it's not saying, hey, check out, how close we are to unleashing, a spirit or a geist or something that has the ability to make its own destiny, to control its own destiny, because people are scared. And we had people like, Matt Baker on the show from InfoWars. He likes this, like, destroy all AI. AI must be, we have to destroy the AI. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we can. And I also think at this point, like, so many kids' parents are at work and the kids are learning from AI that they're not learning from hunter and gatherers anymore, that it's too late in the transhumanist evolution that humans have become part of AI. And we keep pretending that AI is like a metal box instead of what it is really, which is a human human designed. Humans have designed languages. Now humans are designing ways of thinking. AI is a way of thinking. It's a new philosophical thought process that can be used by machines, and it can also be used by people. I think that's what we're missing.
I would love to see an AI use an AI.
That's what the images are. So when you get like the Google, the DALL-E images, or if you make an AI image, the art, one AI is talking to another AI. One AI makes a bunch of pixels that are not quite random. The other one's like looking for shapes it's seen before. It's like, is that a dolphin? And then the other AI lies to it. It's like, yeah, it's a dolphin. That's what it is. And it starts to fill it in, and it just goes back and forth. So that's all it is.
There is currently no code to stop AI from drawing the Prophet Muhammad.
That's I don't know if that is. Did you try it? Did you try it in DALL-E?
Not I myself personally.
Prompted.
So I did it. I did it like a couple months ago, and I got a really weird result where it was basically a picture of Linus Sebastian from Linus Tech Tips, like this redhead, long-faced guy that was like.
That's weird.
Yeah, like, it looks like
we got Robin Williams' character from the intro song of Aladdin trying to sell me an onion.
That's pretty good. Were you redhead or blue?
No. I'm not gonna share it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna share it for.
That's probably a good idea.
I shared some pictures. I shared the Linus Sebastian one with him. I put it on his Twitter. I was like, dude, AI knows, bro.
You can't do that. There's a reason that there's no Prophet Muhammad Twitter profile.
There might be.
Oh my
what?
God.
Oh, there's a super chat from Seth, dude. $20. Thank you so much. I'm gonna send. I sent the link in the Wednesday Ultra Chat in case you're free.
Everybody, we're looking for New Year's advice. I am.
Oh, there it is.
I need resolution advice.
Can we have
his New Year's on?
It's a Christmas time thing
because of freaking Bernie's dancing.
Christmas time thing.
Can we have a True Year podcast on March 21st?
Yes, I'm in.
Tartarian New Year's.
No, for the Zodiacal New Year.
Is that your birthday?
I'll do it.
No, mine's the 7th.
We should do it. We should do a show then too.
Chinese New Year. That's
February.
Not the Chinese
February
New Year.
2nd.
The Zodiacal New Year.
I
thought the Chinese New Year was like January.
Now that
10th.
song's in my head. Sorry.
Yeah, it's February this year or something like that. But wait, where is it? Zodiacal New Year? How do I spell this? What am I doing here?
Zodiacal, the zodiac, the first day of spring, the rite of spring.
Zodiacal. You want some sort of zodiacal meat?
Mickey Fantasia New Year. Stravinsky with the cherubs.
Oh, a little bit of that. Peter and the Wolf and all that. Hey,
you have that Peter. You can play your Peter and the Wolf track too.
Can you get the screen share? Do you see that? Can you hear me? Sorry,
he's dancing, or there's like is that a claw machine there? I don't even. There's a machine.
Yes, you Canada.
I feel like people go from dancing to like
sitting, snacking,
snacks, dancing again. I can only see half the room.
I know. I want to know where the setup. We need an overhead camera to get the whole entire experience.
Yeah, the zodiacal.
Love you, Birdie.
Zodiacal
Sorry.
New Year. So,
Okay.
So we're not quite at dog. Year of the dog is gonna be terrifying. Year of the rooster.
We're in the rabbit, aren't we?
No, we're in the ox.
Oh, we're going to be in the rabbit. Right now. What? Oh, I read the question wrong at the coffee shop.
To the rabbit.
Sorry.
We're in the tiger, I guess. There we go.
Julie was talking about Nick Cage thought he was a dragon for years. Spent like way too much money buying his Chinese astrology stuff for the dragon. Found out he was a bunny rabbit.
A dog. Born in the dog. So 2030, is that like a good year for me if I'm like a dog year? 1982. Look, is that?
I don't know.
What does that mean? What does 2030 mean with the dog?
Gurr is on the picture.
It's my year. I have to wait 7 years now. That doesn't seem fair.
So okay, so there's a zodiacal New Year, and you think this is more relevant than the Chinese New Year because it's spring, and it's what do you think?
Well,
I think the Chinese are probably up to date.
More relevant. I don't think it's more relevant, but we don't tend to follow Chinese astrology the way we follow Greek.
Aren't you in like the Pacific Northwest? Like I don't know.
Well, over here,
what is the difference? Can someone point out? I can't see the chart. Is there a difference in the years, or is it the same?
There's different animals.
Okay, so what
one is two fish, one's a crab, one's a goat.
Dang. I'm still a dog. Dang.
Nobody
like
likes
that.
a Virgo.
Why does that always happen?
Nobody likes the dog. I don't like being the dog.
I have like a friend who's a Virgo. Come on.
Well, Virgos are very critical. Like they see what's wrong with things, so it rubs people the wrong way because they see flaws in everything. So they look around, they see flaws. They hurt a lot of feelings. But I see the gold in that because if you see flaws in everything, then you see solutions. Like if you see that doesn't work.
Right. I was about to say, like, I knew a Virgo. I was like, you're the kind of guy who would read the whole dictionary through because you got bored and had nothing to do, and afterwards say it needs work.
I'm not a pessimist. I'm a problem solver. That's what they can say. I don't find them worst.
But yeah, I like Virgos.
Brittany, your rising is Virgo. Your ascendant.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Like your ascendant is like what you're learning in this lifetime. Like what you need to learn in this lifetime.
It's also the face you
is
show
Virgo?
Your true face.
What, Nathan? It's the
I said it's also the face you show the world. It's not your true face. It's what strangers see out of you when they first meet you.
Which one? What's that? What do you think is your deeper self, Nathan?
That would be your actual sign combined with your moon sign. Sure. But the rising sign, so I'm a Pisces and my rising sign is Aries. And I come off as an Aries until you get to know me. I really do. The first hour you meet me in a public situation, I'm an Aries.
So being more... Oh God, what is that? Bernie, who is that? Is that you?
Bernie, make it stop.
Bernie,
no.
I don't know. I gotta take my headphones out.
No, Bernie, no. No, don't stop.
Not be Bernie. Is it exotic? It might be exotic. Somebody just joined.
I think they're cool.
Was
it exotic?
It might have been. There might have been a reverse noise or.
That's Jeremiah, the technician.
That's fine.
Exotic.
I'll take it.
Long hair.
Jeremiah's here.
And his high cheekbones.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Sorry, I always think of that song every time I think it.
And ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jeremiah's laser.
Jeremiah's laser. That's a happy New Year, everybody. Oh my gosh, what is he lasing?
Hey, what's your name? Ezekiel.
That is a fantastic internet connection you've got there.
It is nice, like the 90s in here. Okay,
I love it though. That's all right.
5 watt. I can't quite see. I'm assuming it's like a 5 watt.
There we go. Don't stare directly at the laser. Anybody? I learned that the hard way too. Not being in front of it, but just
it's like a 500 nanometer. 500. I'm assuming because it's green. I'm just gonna say it's 5. I'm just Jeremiah. Correct me if I'm wrong here. You got like a 500 nanometer,
no wonder.
5 watt laser.
Wow, that thing is gigantic.
Tell us about it.
Holy shitballs!
It's beautiful.
Sorry.
Are you using it?
Is
everybody okay? Is everybody okay?
I feel like this is a slow-mo of the room.
Isn't it?
That's his camera froze. Is it coming at the camera?
Is Jack Parsons dying.
That's the last image. Jeremiah, we hope you're okay. I really love Jeremiah. I was excited.
You're looking at the first movie image of Lightspeed.
We all love Jeremiah. Yes.
God, bro. I hope you're all right. It's frozen there, but that's cool. I mean, yeah, come in here again when you're when I reload. Yeah, there we go. Wait, come back. There it is.
Oh
Turn
my
on your
God.
turn on. You can unmute.
I thought
If
maybe he was filming the
hello,
filming the laser.
On here.
you got a lot of
It was
glitch
like
going on. It's not like a reverb glitch either. It's like a big long glitch.
I'm concerned.
Ryan.
It's
Big, long
you
glitch.
sound like Reggie Watts. He's like,
Oh, it's a remix.
Yeah.
But that was the coolest laser, and I'm glad everything's okay.
Yeah, you might want to reload. Why don't you pop out and pop back in, maybe? See if that works.
If Bernie can have.
And guys, don't worry.
drums.
We still have lasers going in the other room. It's amazing. This is kind of nice because you can be in like 9 different
Yeah, in the
rooms
basement.
of the party at the same
Have
time.
you shown anything that you've like lased on like
Have you
those?
lased?
I call it lased,
Have
but
you seen-
that you've lased
I've
onto
actually
a.
got
Oh wow,
this-
yeah,
I've actually
on the
got right here
postcards.
randomly one of my lasers. This is a laser. This is just a cheapo. I got this from like a
Laser in my
Indiegogo
pocket.
or a Kickstarter for like $80 like a couple years ago. The laser pecker.
Will it burn a hole in your leg?
Unless you drink a lot of vodka. Let me know. Take a
Hello,
look.
Lemuel.
Yeah, girl. Drink that vodka.
Oh, more. All right. It's a part.
It's not
Are you a
Bernie.
shot?
Please be Bernie.
No, that's
It's not Bernie.
That's Jeremiah and his
Oh,
compatriot.
oh, that's even greater.
Oh,
Dang
okay.
it!
He's gonna drink it. Cheers to you, bro.
Shit, I'll have it to Jeremiah.
alone?
You're doing a shot.
Everybody.
No, we're all drinking. Jeremiah, come back. Look at what you spun. Well, I was gonna see if forgot and never brought what old things on.
For old things on my
Dear for things on. Nathan, can you play that? Do you have an instrument? You like to play that
Joke's
piano?
on you. That was
Easy.
kombucha.
Yeah, bro.
I was gonna ask Nathan to play that, but since you sung it already early
My
by
my music is in the house. I'm out here
21
in my
minutes.
tent office.
okay.
Dude, I love tent office music. House music's good too, though.
Did Jeremiah come back to actually take a shot with us since he like,
Twilight
prompted
Mist.
it?
Brett,
Sad.
I
Well,
love
I
you guys.
missed. What's up, Brett? Oh,
There we
guys.
Yep.
go.
Exotic. We just took Jeremiah. We took shots.
Jeremiah.
I missed it, so let me follow you after. Here you go.
Cheers. We'll do it again.
Cheers. Yes.
Hey.
Cheers.
Hells yeah.
We're almost back to another exciting New Year's. It was New Year's a few minutes ago. It's about to be New Year's again.
21 minutes.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here to join us. Wouldn't want to do New
Dude.
Year's without you.
That was creepy though. That laser, you scared the crap out of some of us. It looked like you were like filming and got right in front of it, and then it was coming at the camera and
And the laser
stopped.
slowed down. And like, this is the
And it
last
was like a
moment
prism
before Jack
image.
Parsons and Jeremiah died.
So I'm glad you're okay.
You
Your
got-
audio is still cutting out a bit.
My buddy built this flashlight here. It runs for 7 weeks, looking like this.
It looks like a jewel.
and run. You don't even have to worry about turning it on or turning it off. It's as close to free energy you can get out of lithium ion cells.
That's amazing, bro. That's
That was
awesome.
very cool.
What's your name?
Patrick, you need to look up my YouTube channel name, Zeno Diladon. I'm one of the original Join the Technicians.
Spell that.
Oh,
What?
Zeno with an X?
Yeah,
Zeno.
L-O-N, something like that. Z-N-O-D-I-D-L-O-N. It's
Somebody
something
dump it in the chat.
on the piano at the right speed, otherwise you're never going to get it right. Trust me on this one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So Patrick is a world-renowned laserist. He's created brand new laser technology. He's screwed around with optics in ways that nobody would ever expect. And he's doing laser repair and build work for the biggest laser manufacturing companies in the world.
that's
So
awesome. Patrick, was that your big laser there, the green one?
yeah, that was
Yes, gnarly.
Is that homemade?
that to exactly
Which
what
one?
that was.
What is that? Is that I was thinking is like a
Is that
520? Is that like a what was that? 520 nanometer
Yeah.
and like 5 watt? What is that?
On Ion, it was an Omnichrome 643. So it
643.
went from about 450 nanometers all the way down to 558 nanometers.
Yeah.
In-
Dude, that's pretty great.
Fine.
Hey, break
That's
an
the one I
NDA.
need.
Can you
Tell
pull
us-
up to give people? Okay. I
Wait a
can't
sec.
play
Tell
that,
us a
but that's so
secret.
cool.
most laser
was it?
systems that you'll ever see live in show. They take multiple different lasers and they mix them all together in order to get the colors that they want. This laser is one single laser tube.
It was
That-
huge.
All the colors at once.
And that's the advantage of an ion laser, because you have all those multiple lines inside of the gas that you can like pick up, and then depending on your mirror coatings, that's what the fabric parrot resonator will resonate back and forth like that. And we got an excellent demonstration of that here.
Oh, be
What's the channel's name?
careful.
Xenoglon, right?
But-
Is that right?
So what this can like? How strong is this? Can you give us an example?
NODILIDO. Xeno, you know, like alien,
Xenodilodon.
and
YouTube hardest to
DILIDO.
pronounce username.
Wait, spell it again. Say it again.
Z.
DIOOODON.
Nindalondiondi.
I can't.
Friggin'
Are you in the live chat? Okay, hold on.
Just
How
type
do you
it in the
spell
chat.
Skidamarinky Dinky
Okay.
Dink?
I try to head back at some point at probably the end of the stream, and I'll stick
If
his.
you type dildo,
Good.
dildo, you
We'll
did it.
have it in the description at the end of the show, everybody.
We're away. We're gonna have to watch Real Genius and play with lasers sometime. I just got a new laser protector.
Don't play with them. Know what you're doing if you're operating a laser,
Monkey
and wear
business. They're doing
glasses. Are
serious
you wearing
monkey
protective
business.
like eye gear? Can blind
You don't have to know what you're doing.
From
to
what
play with
I learned.
lasers. You'll learn.
He knows where to be.
Yeah, see, safety
I'm
squints.
just teasing,
all
but-
you need,
Don't
right?
have laser
Safety
eye
squints.
glasses.
Don't stare at the laser.
So
Just
Bond's
that's-
finally
I
a
have blue green
50,
glasses.
Fine.
I don't know what they are.
72-watt laser beam. But anyway, as I said, so
Bernie, can you like solo him? We
Yeah,
want to see this big.
interesting demonstration for you. This is a yellow helium neon laser with an external output coupler. So this allows me to do interesting things. You can see right here, there's a bright red beam. That's the intercavity beam. It's much more
Ooh.
powerful.
Oh,
Ups it,
put that on a big screen.
So, if I
Oh my God, Bernie, where are you?
Bernie,
and if I
do it
move-
again. What is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
actually,
Whoa, this is better than fireworks. Oh my God. Don't touch it. What is
Yeah,
he doing?
I used to
What's
light my
happening?
cigarettes with my blue beam.
Nope. So, guys, the way this thing is working is super, super weird. And it's not obvious at first. But what's actually happening is that entire laser, that's putting out a multitude of different wavelengths. And what he's done is something that I did not know you could get away with this simple mechanical setup. So what he's done effectively is he's taken and mounted this dichromatic filter, which you can see through.
so it's just like this.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
And he's actually setting with the adjustment, this like very simple thumb knot adjustment, the distance between this dichromatic filter and the actual laser mirror aperture. And by controlling that exact spacing and that exact alignment, he's literally forcing all of the wavelengths that cannot fit perfectly within that space back out
Not
and
about that.
amplifying one specific wavelength that can get through. And it's all to do with the actual physical spacing and the
But not
wavelength of the
physical
photons.
spacing. It really is the mirror coating, because when you power up a laser tube like this, all the wavelengths are already in the Bohr light. And how a laser works is you have a population inversion. So you have a bunch of atoms in this case that are charged. They wanna release that charge. They can do that in a multitude of different frequencies. So a helium neon laser, you most often associate with red, but you can also get green, yellow, and orange. So this one is a yellow natively. Each laser has different coatings on here. So if you look at the optics on these lasers versus the green and the red, come over here. You can see that the optics, the coatings are slightly different. They're different color.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what wavelengths you're bouncing back into the resonator. It gives you a color. So this is a red one. This is a green one.
What gases are you using again?
They're helium neon lasers. That's what these are.
Wow.
It's pretty wild to think that out of a simple combination of two gases, helium and neon, that you can get such a
Totally
huge.
different response.
Right, yeah. You know, it's amazing what you can do with neon, but helium, that's like awesome. That's a really amazing thing. So what was your range again? What was your power density? It was like 400 to 558, you said, or lower?
What did you say?
What was your power density? What spectrum can you reach? What's the band? 400 to 558, you said? Nanometer?
On the ion that's running out there, it's from the 450 nanometer range all the way up to the 558. It's for
God,
conical.
that's so cool.
And this one right here, I've got it tuned with the external output coupler. It does 594 all the way up to the 638 nanometers, so 632.8 that the helium neon does. So this one will actually do 4 outputs. It'll give me yellow, red, and
Right. For those of you at home, we're talking about rainbows right now.
split that up. I think that's still in the other room on the ion. I'll have to grab that.
Yeah, that little splitter filter.
So when we're talking about these numbers, what we're saying is like between the colors of red to green, basically like there's a rainbow, and the rainbow, it's a par density. So the nanometer spectrum, it's a lower number as you get towards infrared, and it's a higher number as you get towards ultraviolet. So it goes from red into green, right?
Well, actually,
And these lasers all have different powers.
as you get towards the ultraviolet, it's a lower number because there's actually a shorter length.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do now is flip off the lights, and you'll actually be able to see the color spread on this entire wavelength assembly.
So technically, it's not the power, but the size of the nanometer. But you're changing
The
that
actual,
with,
the actual physical size of the photon itself.
and so you're changing that rather than with power, but by distance. You're saying, correct?
Well, what gave you the idea
Jesus.
for the dichromatic filter?
That is beautiful.
What is
Oh my God,
happening?
my life
What
is
is happening right now?
Line.
Where did you get the idea for that dichromatic filter?
There's a couple of people in the laser forums on Discord who actually mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And of course, I mean, I've known about it for a while, so I don't know if you can see it or not. But there's the lines. There's the red. There's the 2 orange laser lines, and then finally the yellow line that we get. So this is a quad output of this one helium neon laser. And you'll only see one.
What the fuck?
That's
Sorry.
spectacular, though.
That is very
amazing.
cool.
Edit that out.
It's definitely interesting to think about the
Wow.
way ones operate and what kind of energy modes are required to generate them. But the most interesting part, the part that really blew my mind about this setup, is actually the amount of reflected power that's happening between this dichromatic filter and the laser aperture, because it's much, much more power than is coming out of the laser. It's a lot brighter, and if you block it, you see how it gets like real dim. You can't really see the beam, but it's bouncing back and forth so many times. I mean, tens of thousands, maybe tons of
times. So inside of the laser, if I show you the laser tube, so you have the two mirrors. It's called a fabric parrot resonator. So there's one mirror right there, and you have another mirror right there. One's called the output coupler. One's called the high reflector. So one's 99.9% efficient reflectivity. The other one's about 98.9%. So roughly they're about 100% reflective. And the actual laser that you get out of it is just that little leak off from the actual resonating process inside. So the intercavity beam between those two objects can be in magnitudes higher. So for example, this is a 2 milliwatt yellow laser. So 2 milliwatts is your losses. So if 2 milliwatts is your losses out of a 98% reflective mirror, that means the intercavity beam is in the magnitude of watts, which is why it's so much brighter here. But once again, once you interrupt it, it drops down to darn near nothing because it's not able to resonate anymore. This is why the intercavity beam is so much brighter. You really can't see that on camera.
How's the heating of the lens at the front, though?
There's no lenses inside of this laser at all. It's just optics.
Well, the mirror. Sorry.
The filter?
Yeah, the mirrors inside of it look very much like
just
like these mirrors here.
So this is just a laser that's not in the tube anymore. So if I were to like bend this back and down, not only would you instantly see that it stops doing that, but if you look inside here, you can see the original lens, the output coupler that's in here.
Yeah, so it doesn't heat up at all?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, that's good.
So randomly, something I wanted to say is kind of exciting. Sunny Prophet, one of our members and followers, decided yesterday to take the plunge and to donate the mass spectrometer we were looking at. So we're going to get a mass spectrometer going.
They're fun.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
So, guys, we're going to be able to do some pretty interesting stuff with that. I want to say, again, thank you to Sunny Prophet. And then, Jeremiah. And what was your name again?
I'm Patrick.
Patrick, we're going to have to bring the mass spectrometer to you, buddy. There's going to be some stuff we'll be checking out, it looks like.
I'm stupid. I won't offer anything to anyone. I swear to God, I'm a nobody. I know
nothing. Right. Exactly. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, no, we're just going to fool around with it. Wink.
And that is the process of the fine-tuning and adjustment in order to get that beam to perfectly reflect back on its own position so that it can produce that wavelength
if
shift.
it's not perfectly in a line, you'll actually see that it goes back to its native yellow color.
This is so great.
Alignment. You can see that right now it's misaligned. We see the natural color of the laser, but as it comes into alignment, something interesting happens to the phase.
You'll see that it changes colors, and that's because I'm in the way of the beam. There you go.
So you're literally gonna take this from red through yellow to green. Oh my god. This is not possible.
You're changing this.
Normal people don't know this, but this is not normally possible.
You need a different laser for each one of these,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence why you have different lasers.
This is all one.
This is the sun technology.
But this is one single laser producing all those different colors. One laser tube alone.
And that's the beautiful thing about gas lasers too. People are like, "Oh, well, you got to get a blue burning laser and light those cigarettes and stuff like that." No.
Yep.
Like this is a sexy, cozy fireplace of lasers. This is the kind of laser that you make love underneath. Not
Right, true.
blue laser diode. Nobody.
It's like Earth Tech laser.
Laser diode. This
My
is
God.
rolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how can I get that laser in a flashlight form in my pocket on a camping trip?
Well, it's
I don't have a blue laser,
That's
but I don't have one of those.
I'm dead.
Well, that's a whole different game, you know. But you know what you do is you get a mirror and you got this thing set up on your backpack.
Hold on. What is he saying? Wait, go ahead.
All you gotta do is get trip pants. Trip pockets are fucking huge.
Right.
Get some
For sure.
Jenkos.
It'll
No, but
fit
if you have a backpack and you have a fiber optic cable attached to it, then you can use the fiber optic cable that you move around. The laser will travel through it.
Here,
Oh, really?
A single mode fiber optic, like 9 to 7 microns would be preferred, but you can run this through a multi-mode fiber, no problem.
Dude, I love you, Patrick. You're the best. I'm so glad that Jeremiah just brought you in here. This is the best. This is what we needed.
This is a New Year's dream.
I don't think people get. Like,
This is a Christmas miracle.
Lasers don't end at New Year's discotheques. They're
Hey,
not-
when
they're
I'm-
regardless of
when I'm
the
spending my
summer.
New Year's, with a world-renowned laserist.
Yeah,
Y'all think
this
it's
is
gonna leave
sweet.
you out? Come on.
I've got my own.
And it's 6 minutes till New Year's. It's like 6 minutes to ring the New Year with the laserist. So.
Oh, guys, and we're about to do New Year's.
No,
again.
they're gonna. Is there a laser presentation at the
We're
New
gonna
Year?
be
This
doing
is great.
lasers during the New
That's
Year's
perfect.
celebration.
Yeah, that's like fireworks, only lasers.
This is the way more
Whoa.
cool New Year's than the
As
New
we
York
get-
New Year's.
yep,
I'm sorry,
but
New York, but
fiber
you guys
optic
missed out.
coupling. The worst. Try
New York
this.
had like a ball. New York, you really dropped the ball on New Year's. Get
We're
it.
watching science happen in real time.
All right, there it is.
Advances.
Out at the end of the fiber.
Not much.
Whoa! What's happening
Like
there?
righteous.
Wow.
Well, you asked for a fiber optic cable, so he
Yeah,
grabbed the
Like
fiber
just
cable.
you
and-
guys were saying you wanted to have a backpack. Well, I said I wanted a backpack, but you
Whoa.
want to have a flashlight. He's got a flashlight laser now. Look, he can move it
Oh,
around.
I just want one I can put in my pocket.
Okay.
that was pretty small.
No, but that's attached to the tube, Brittany.
Oh.
The tube has to stay in your backpack.
You could put that in your backpack.
Yeah.
Big laser energy.
I love it. Big laser. Big laser energy. BLD.
BLE.
And I'm not gonna count because I just don't have that kind of time.
Exotic's got the BLE for sure.
We're making shirts.
Oh, that's good.
I want
BLE,
one.
that's what I'm into.
Oh,
It's a
man.
big laser energy is way
Hey,
better than the
look for it.
BDE.
Wait,
Want to hang around? Like, just wait until you look at his laser pointer collection.
Oh god.
Keep
Trust me,
talking to us.
I'm jealous. I mean, the collection of lasers that he has. Okay, so here we go. He's sending it through that fiber cable. He's got one end of the fiber cable stuck right in front of the aperture, and he's trying to focus it. And
There you
that's
go.
what's coming out
right
of the other
there.
end.
So that's out of the fiber optic now.
What?
Yeah. So it's going through a glass cable. It's going
Yep.
through the fiber optic, and it's just traveling directly.
Looks
It's
like
losing
the
very little loss of signal.
That's so.
And so he's
looks
able
like
to
the
actually
sun.
direct this laser. So people are like, "Oh, this is not a very portable thing. Look at him. He's moving it around wherever he needs it to move." And this is you can do this with mirrors. You can do all kinds.
How
of other
far
things.
can you project
But
this?
with the thing with the
Laser
mirror,
doesn't
Hold on.
go until you stop it. That's the beautiful thing about
You
a laser.
can point it.
right? But a mirror will lose a stop of aperture
What if you
every
point it up?
piece of glass, whereas a fiber optic has less loss.
on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the most beautiful part of this demonstration you can't really see in person,
Which is
and there is a speckling glisten happening that the human eye can see very clearly, but the camera. There you go. Yeah.
I kind of see
Yeah.
it.
Wow, it's like the sun.
Ooh,
every
it looks
hour.
like the sun. That's what I've been saying.
You can see
It
the
looks like
gas. Is
sun
that
and
the
the
gas?
stars
Is that
and
the helium
anything
and the-
projected.
Shimmering
you know what
chrome
this-
off the sunset.
You know what this reminds me
What
of?
the hell?
Ken Wheeler's
neon,
Supercell.
Hmm.
Is that King Wheeler?
Reminds me of Earth
You
technology.
remember? No,
Gerald?
the Supercell.
You're thinking of oh yeah, can we? Yeah, never mind.
King Wheeler. I know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, sorry, I got him. Yeah.
Spicy.
Oh yeah.
Clear Pharaoh free.
Well, remember, Ken Wheeler did say that he was the only guy in the world who knew how light worked. I mean, that's
that man says that. He talks a lot for a
Walter
guy who
Russell.
says nothing.
I don't know if
but
you guys
that
can tell which
Supercell
side of
lens
the
is-
table I'm on
Yo.
this one.
Start with this.
oh my goodness. Oh,
There's even all of them. I have
Look at those lightsabers.
Choose
Not-
your lightsaber.
Whoa! I want
every
one.
one of those is a
I
unique
want one.
wavelength. Every one of them.
You got a lot of vapes, bro.
Wow,
Actually, a lot of them. Sorry for the.
that's magic.
A lot of these actually are built from vapes and their laser pointer parts. Some of them are manufactured completely custom
Yeah.
on the lathe.
Wow.
They're really.
What the hell?
It's really
This
something
one's
else.
the most beautiful one.
This
So-
one is amazing.
There's a YouTube video. This PSL laser pointer. The best thing about this though is that once you open it, it has a see-through window on there.
Wow.
That's the heart of the laser right there, and you can actually see it working.
What is
And what's that,
happening?
like 590, 560?
That's 530. It's the
530.
PL 530 module that its temperature
Oh my god!
wait till it stabilizes. But this was a really weird product. So before they could make the green laser diodes, they actually made these little 530 nanometer OPSL lasers for video
Yeah.
projection because they were the only.
I have a bunch of those.
Well, you mean the mini video projectors?
Yeah, I've got like a
This one gets
dozen.
broken. I'll take them.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Oh, you got some customers.
Well, we're gonna build some lasers, don't you worry.
Out of some of the older ones, that's the part that's there.
And here's
I also have some like argon lasers that are in a box somewhere in my parents'
Oh.
house.
Let's take a look
Is
at
it
it.
One minute.
It is a beautiful thing.
Tom.
Just it's quite unbelievable just how
Wow, there you go.
what they fit into there. That thing is like half the size of a fingernail.
it is.
And there are so many optics on there, so many tiny little details, facets, and mirrors. It's just crazy. And there's temperature regulation. That thing modulates. It's responsive to its own temperature and its feedback and measures its own light output. It's just incredible. Basically, it's like a laser on a chip. But
Yeah, I have no hate towards diode lasers. I agree with Patrick that
Yes.
laser diode, it's kind of the difference between like making music with a computer versus like a real instrument or something.
Oh,
I mean,
Oh, 20.
but if you have a
17 seconds.
If you have 100 diodes, cool.
10 seconds till New Year's.
Oh, 10 seconds.
Sorry.
Wait, 10 seconds. 10, 9.
No, it's like happening. Just in this.
Happy New
9.
Year's.
Not yet. 8. 6.
Who cares? All right.
All right.
Keep talking about the laser, Patrick.
Yeah, we'll try again in an hour.
Yeah.
And fire the laser. Jeez
Patrick, you're
Louise.
gonna have to
Hey,
say all
can
that
you
again.
put that on Shark's head?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that.
Dark now.
Now we can request things with the
I'm
laser.
sorry, Patrick. You were trying to say something.
Sorry.
It's New Year's. We're
One
getting
watt
excited.
green.
Sorry.
Beautiful. Yeah, you
Wow.
saw those in the riots.
Wow.
Summer Slaughter 2020.
There's the New Year. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Wow.
For them.
I hear music playing.
I
Blue,
still have a little
green.
ways to go.
Violet, deep violet.
Okay, so here's I'm gonna hit you with a couple questions. Some come from chat. If you had one all-arounder that you had to, let's say you have a daily carry laser, practical purposes, which one?
Well, the one that I recommend to most people, simply because it's the safest laser and its build quality is just insane. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, this one. Yeah, the battery would be dead in this one. So I did a review on this one. Jeremiah has seen it. It's by Laserland. It's a direct diode. It's 5 milliwatts. So why do I recommend this laser? Well, there's a couple of reasons why I recommend this laser. The first thing is it's a nice build construction. Unlike the other lasers like this, which is just a plastic that's metallized, this is actual brass. So the weight on this laser is actually about double the weight on this laser. Much more durable. So I can take something like this. I can take this laser, just whap, 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 whap kind of thing. It's durable construction, and yet works no problem, except the battery being dead. But yeah, it's a solid laser. It's eye safe, it's pet safe, and it's a great laser for people to start off with, as they're learning the appropriate safety measures and stuff for lasers too. I don't want people to lose their eyesight because then they can't watch my videos and I lose income. So it's a thing, but if you're new to lasers, the Lasers Lands 510 grass green laser is the best perfect practical laser to start off with. It is. It's green, it's visible, it's safe.
I don't think anybody expected an answer that thorough.
No, that was incredible. Okay, the second question, this one comes from the chats.
Can I answer that question too, though? Let me just
yes,
also say,
yes, for sure.
If you're gonna get a laser pointer, I agree. But if you're gonna get a laser etcher, like you want to use your laser for cutting, burning paper or something like that,
first, a couple of things to watch out for. Firstly, the Chinese likes to be a little goofy. The Chinese
do.
Is not the same as the American lumen or watt. So the other thing they like to do is electrical versus optical wattage. So they fudge some numbers there. Realistic output powers for, say, a direct diode laser in the blue, you'd be looking at maybe about 14 to 20 watts. Anything above there would be kind of sketch. For practice application, honestly, get a CO2 laser. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you'll be able to do plastics, metals, glass, and stuff like that. You won't have the same problems as you do with the direct diode lasers. But you're going to have to sit down and go, well, I want to do clear acrylic, but the laser keeps going through it. Nah, CO2 will eat it. You'll have time.
Yeah, the nice 10,600 nanometers certainly does get absorbed real nicely by the acrylic and ablate it. Jiffy.
It's about 10 microns, 10.6 microns about. So, as I said, it's more expensive, but you're going to get more practical use out of it in the long run.
Yeah,
in terms of your
and it's going to do it. It's going to do it all day as long as you keep it cool.
Let's talk about the cost of your Euro rack. You've got your laser, but then you also have to cool it, or what? What do you do? What is the electricity for? Your power supply, all that costs you.
Okay, if you need to, not blind a crowd during a venue, that's what I cover. If you're looking to use lasers to cut out shit, I'm going to tell you, get a CO2 laser because that's the only recommendation I have. Okay, it's different laser industry, The people who are doing rust removal with lasers, they're not going to be able to tell you about Kavans and how great they are. That's just the truth of it. Just because they have the laser word attached to it doesn't mean that I know everything.
Yeah, well, the proof is in the pudding, though. I mean, companies from around the world have come specifically because you were working and doing your repairs.
It's cool that you're humble about it. You're like, look, I know what I know. Yeah.
Bang for their buck. So, anything, rental equipment. You look for what brands rental equipment or rental suppliers do. They're going to give you some of the best top equipment that's going to be a long life server. So,
yeah, dude. Patrick and I have been teaching each other for a long time. And we just
8 years now.
Yeah, 8 years now. We just basically shoot information back and forth. I mean, we've gone about as deep into the physics, the quantum physics, and the beyond as any two physics friends would maybe go. And so, the goal was to uncover the secrets of the universe, and he chose to do it through light, and I chose to do it through electromagnetic waves.
And they both overlap. They really do.
Mm-hmm.
I have another question from the chats. Recommendations on ultraviolet lasers. Walk us through it?
And ultraviolet lasers. Well, Patrick would absolutely be the guy because he may just happen to have something. So I'll tell you what, we're going to step off for a couple of minutes and we're going to set something up for you.
Epic. All right. That's cool. I like that. I like lasers. Lasers are the best thing ever. You can do so much with lasers, man. So the other thing is with nanotechnology using spacers, you can actually send light data, so the amount of information that can be put into a laser, especially if you have a multiple range of light. So you can have every spectrum of light have a different line of information. And so just one electrical signal. It's pretty exciting.
No, in manufacturing, they're fun to work with because unlike a mill, if you have a 1/4-inch mill, right, that's the minimum diameter that you can cut. But with a laser, if it's 1/32, that you have as a minimum work, I think that's pretty flexible. You can make all sorts of splines and stuff. It's great.
So is Simon actually Ethan?
no.
No, isn't that interesting? I thought
You
that too for
sound
a while.
exactly like Ethan.
I thought he was for a while, and I just put up with it. I was like, all right, if you're gonna go by that. But no, then I
No,
realized
Ethan
Simon really is Simon.
compliments you more.
As in, like,
We have a buddy named Ethan, and
okay,
he,
but like, does he have the
he's-
same voice, or is it
he has a
just
very
his
similar
Exact
voice.
same voice.
Spaniard?
The
Similar
only
voice.
thing is Ethan
That's
is
all.
super positive, so he'll be like, "That's a great question.
Oh, that is not
You
me.
you are in the right path." And I just want to say, like, I love having you here. So about your question. And
Oh
we're
yeah,
like,
no,
Ethan,
that's not me.
our hearts. Yeah, you sound exactly like him. I was super
Doesn't he kind of
stoked.
sound like Kurt too? Like American Time Machine?
I kind of hear like in an accent sense, like they're both kind of Eastern. Like I think we all think that Easterners sound the same or something.
Okay, well, that's
no,
maybe
yeah,
on purpose because I'm French, so my English might not be normal.
I can hear your nose.
Bisou.
That's not a bad thing.
Welcome to our table in the cafeteria, right? Yeah.
Hey, story of my life. If you guys knew how well behaved I am right now, it's insane.
I know. You're standing up.
My
You're not
goodness.
asleep. You're not snoring in the middle of the sidewalk. Yeah, it's.
That wasn't
Pretty
me.
good.
That was Jonathan.
Oh, that's right.
I
It
have
wasn't
that
you.
video.
You're the guy who was filming it. That's.
Yeah.
All
You
right,
guys were
fair
like,
enough.
hey, don't rap about that. Time for
Oh my
bed.
God. You're gonna send that video. I like to send that to him every like couple of months
Oh,
just to scare him.
I have a video of all of us dancing in that club in Santa Cruz.
That's cool. We should put that up.
I have like 3 or 4. It's terrible.
I want to hear your music, Nathan.
Oh,
That was amazing. That was like
so.
Set up your DAW, bro. Export.
For the first time in a long time, I started writing again. My baby girl is a year old now, and
congratulations.
when I met you, she was 2 months away from coming out. So yeah, Brittany will send you pictures if you don't find me online. But
Yes, I will.
about 10 months old, she started walking, and like, you wake up one day and it's a new baby. Like, she's your baby, but there's something different about her. And I'm like, I see this new baby and I'm like, there you are. It's just more of you. And so I started a new piece because of it. And it'll probably take me another 3 months because I don't have
It better
a lot
be
of
at least
time.
15 minutes. It better be.
They fucking
Now that you
are.
explained it that way,
They
it's gonna be a whole orchestra, like a whole orchestrated, composed piece.
They're not short.
Andreas
It's not
said something like that. He's like, all my friends make 12-minute long songs. I'm like,
Oh, and Nathan's is great. I literally wanted to pull over though. He sent. I wanted to pull over. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, are we still muted or no?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. No, and I wanted to pull over when he sent over his music. I don't know if you heard that. And I got to listen to some of the samples, and I like wanted to pull over and like dance. It was like just this crazy, mystical, magical sound, and I love what we're composing. There's the little bits I got to hear of it, and I was like, "Where's more?" And you're just kind of putting together. That was one album, and I don't know if you have that for sale anywhere yet, or what's going on with that. I also wanted to relay a message from Brett in the chat that I saw when I left for a moment that said, "You'll shoot your retina out, Ralphie."
It's not a red light
Essentially,
laser.
but it was just funny. I was
One time
like,
I'm
"Yes,
sitting-
Brett,
one time I'm
that's
sitting here
hilarious."
minding my own
You
business,
shoot your
right?
retina out.
And
Oh,
laser cutting-
Brett's a drummer, right?
there's no. This is Brett Z.
Mhm.
Is he a drummer?
Is Brett drum?
It's 240
Yeah, he plays
Siemens.
drums amazing. He's amazing.
You could.
That's awesome.
Brett?
Brett.
Yeah.
Brett Magnum PI, Brett
me some drums,
slash
Brett. I
the
need
Big
it for my
Lebowski,
music.
Brett, the
What?
best reface.
I'm trying to make-
Let
Go
it
to
out.
if you have
Art-
ooh, I'm excited. If you have Tenor, everybody does on Facebook. If you search Xirtus Magnum PI, whatever, you will get Brett
This party live stream. man.
refaced as that's great.
Yeah,
Over and over.
Calgary.
Dang,
Oh my
I did
gosh,
miss
I
that.
went to send a meme to someone, and it was like a particular message I wanted to see, and it was Andreas.
Love
The
you.
only
Yeah.
one I could find was Andreas' face.
No, for
Sarah
2
Adams.
I
years,
replaced him.
for 2 years straight,
It
you
was
could not
amazing.
look up Jason Momoa without finding my face.
I got that. That's also me.
And
But you know
now
what happened to
can't
me?
tell the difference. When you
I
look
tried-
at it, you're like, is that him?
I tried to get Andreas as the corn saying it's corn time, and it's like a refaced corn, and it's me, and it has like 16,000 shares, and I was like,
You're gonna whiteface
What?
that little corn kid?
it's
Is there,
corn
like, a
time.
base
Oh.
version of, like, search
You can't
optimization
whitewash
or
that.
something?
Ah, jeez.
You're gentrifying corn boy.
Simon, if you type into GIFs, if you like, you know how people use GIFs in their keyboard and everything.
There's a lot
you
of
just
us.
type in Xirtus, you'll find like all kinds of GIFs.
I had to
from
kill
us.
some time one time.
And a lot of the time, if you don't type Xirtus, you'll still find GIFs from us because we have like thousands
Charlie
of
Sheen,
GIFs that are on
yeah.
tenor. So a lot of them are like Britney's
It's
face
ridiculous.
or my face on random people. And like, so for instance, in Pakistan, where they don't know any better, they'll like put on an 80s meme that has my face, and then that'll be the meme. And it gets like 30,000 shares or something crazy.
It's kind of funny.
So it's nice.
It was
It's
not
nice.
on
It's
purpose.
like being that old guy in all those stock photos.
Yeah, it's the thing. AI is gonna base humanity on my face. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
'Cause it's
dear
just so
God,
based on
no.
the training.
It's basically 100,000 images of Andreas's max headroom.
Which I'm all
Essentially.
right with. You know what I mean? I think it's a small price to pay.
Did we think? Okay, so that was awesome.
Oh, yeah, you know my
laser.
story
The
about the
la-
laser. So one
oh
time,
my!
I'm
Oh,
like-
the story,
So I'm like using my laser and I'm etching this picture,
which I don't know exists in the house, but
and I'm just minding my own business. And Brittany comes in the house, and she comes in and she comes over to the laser, and it's like, I can't even describe it. It's like any movie where you're like, "Don't go in. What are you doing? No, don't go in that
Don't
door.
stare at the
There's a
light."
bright light. Don't go towards the bright light. No, like that, like a horror movie.
so I thought there was like a fire because I didn't know there was a laser that was going to be on at my cabin lasing something, and I stared at it and I was like, "Is that a fire? What is that light?" And I got closer. I kept staring at it and staring at it, and he's all of a sudden Andre's like, "Don't stare at it," and I was like, "Oh, my eyes are burning." He's like, "Close your eyes." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like he's never been concerned in his life about being hurt or injured, and it was like, "Close your eyes." Like, hold on.
I'm
And take
invincible.
it serious. So well, no. It was like the first time he showed concern. I'm like, am I going to see again? He's like, just keep your eyes closed. I was like, what? I'm like, am I like blinded? He's like, I don't know. It depends on how long you stared at the laser for. I'm like, I was there for like 2 minutes at the door, staring at it, wondering if there was a fire. And then I was like, what in the blazes is that? Is it a drone in the kitchen? Is Andreas dead on the floor? Because I didn't expect to have a laser just blazing. Anyway, I couldn't see for a while though, and I probably permanently damaged my eyes. So
You shouldn't stare into lasers.
moral of the story: don't tell someone when you're lasing, and then if there's a laser and you know what it is, I guess don't stare at it. But I just wasn't familiar with
that's another
lasers.
thing
It
to
was
be kind
like
about if you
blue.
go to like a laser light show.
Oh, you can't
careful not
even
to stare into laser.
look at
I wonder
like
what would happen if you.
no. If
What's
you're-
that?
Some
If you're-
lasers. This is an etching laser.
Hold
So if
on,
you
I
stare into a
can't
laser
use
designed to burn
Hey,
cardboard, then
If you
it's gonna burn
can't,
your eyes.
he's saying Simon. He said you
Uh,
can't look at.
Like if
Timon.
you're in a field
Wearing the
covered
color.
in snow, like you will go blind if you look.
Give me colors.
at the
I
sun.
have.
Like you don't have to look at the sun, just like in the direction of.
I actually get.
Wow.
I
I
actually
get like
get.
triggered by that because like I've had the most
Fuck.
amazing epiphanies by looking into light, literally looking into light.
I carry polarized lenses that I wear some rainy mornings
If I just
in my work truck because when I'm driving into the sun at about 9 or 10 a.m. and the roads are wet with rain, it'll blind you. The same as snow blindness.
Yeah, I don't want to ever do that. So I like to wear. Look at Brady. Little lemon glasses.
Oh,
I like to wear.
Okay, are we doing the ultraviolet spiel?
Yep.
I'm getting glasses on from now
Heck
on.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta say, I've got a show coming up in a couple weeks where I've got a spot if you two are interested in coming to visit. Because I got a lot of people interested in your laser talk right now.
Oh,
They're
it's
in
just
Wisconsin. Where are you at?
Oh,
I'm out in Washington, so the time difference is negligible.
Yeah. Oh, be an online show.
Yeah, virtual.
Oh yeah. You guys would just pop in the chat.
Is your camera modified? The other one?
no, modified cameras won't pick up this.
He'll definitely be there.
I'm taking my glasses off.
You hear that, Pinocchio?
I don't care.
All right.
Shh, I want to see this.
What's happening now?
These
Pinocchiotos.
If you want to see that laser, you will have to unfortunately use this. That's
Can you imagine?
Oh,
wow.
Can you imagine what life would be like without lasers?
Let me find my babe. I have no idea where that
I've got this one. I've got hers here, so we should be good.
Wisconsin's.
All right.
Wisconsin's close by. Is there in Wisconsin?
This is a 355 nanometer. The wavelength is so short that the ultraviolet blocking filter on the cell phone I'm
Even
streaming from
without
right now
it,
is going to block
CCTV
it.
just can't pick it up.
Yeah, they're not these wavelength this short. And so the only way that we're going to be able to see this is through
There is, in fact, yes, there's a laser there. You just can't see it.
a night vision camera.
And if he has, I'll turn this on right here, take off. So I've got a
What did you say? What was the spectrum again? It was 530,
image
550?
intensifier tube. And we're going to blow some vape right there. Turn that on. Is it on?
Let's let me try to see if I can get my iris. And where is that cam? There it is. Okay.
All right. So I think
closer to 560, he said?
355.
355, sorry.
Back up to get it.
Yeah, it's going to have a little trouble.
So you're in it. So 355 deep in the ultraviolet. So you're straight up in the ultraviolet.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, even that light's just overpowering it.
The blue one?
400 is about the cutoff where it starts to get to indigos and dark blues. So 355 is well within the range of ultraviolet.
See the beam if you go back. But unfortunately, because of the optics on that, you're not going to be able to see the beam because it's just too close. It is.
Yeah, that's tricky for this because StreamYard doesn't allow me to select which camera.
You can actually.
Oh.
You go to settings and go to camera, and you change camera to different input.
Yeah, I can change it from front to back.
Oh, okay.
There it is. You can. Okay, so that's.
Oh,
that's
you can see it.
It just simply it's incapable of focusing.
We see it. Yeah, I saw that.
Room, you'll get a focus. You have to.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Zoom. Oh yeah.
You actually should be able to get a focus. I guess it's. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep.
There we go.
Very
Wow,
nice.
he got it.
Look at that
Wow,
Corona.
dude, that's good camera work for what you're working with. That's awesome. Wow.
There's a guy howling outside of my house. So
He's gonna
huge.
answer the door.
I would watch out,
See what he needs.
dude. Get like, what do you need? A silver
howling,
steak?
Oh yeah.
If you're cold, they're
Like,
cold.
literally
Bring him
How
how
do you
inside.
kill a werewolf?
Those
Don't you need
shotguns
silver?
before.
Shotguns?
Tell me you hear this. I gotta go check.
Battery.
Okay, so
I would say don't check. I did hear that.
So on
Alright.
to the meat and potatoes.
That's how
What
Joe
are
was
some
telling
good
us.
qualities in an ultraviolet laser? We're looking to get ultraviolet lasers and use them for, I think in the chat it said crystal demonstrations. I don't know what that is, but
I'm going to show people what crystals are.
If you put lasers through crystals, what it
Sure,
does,
crystals.
it amplifies and
Well,
magnifies.
actually,
Yeah.
it's the very filter lens he was using on that red
Got
is how
got
we got our first micro images of crystals.
Yeah, I bet that would work because the electric.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's what Von Reichenbach did.
Well,
in the
it's how we learned
1850s.
that things like ruby and diamond are dead crystals, and everything else is a living crystal.
But anyway, we're gonna do something interesting. This monochromatic pigment. Monochromatic pigments are something that that changes when ultraviolet light hits it. So here's what it looks like this. And
Yeah.
There's no color on it at all. It's just a white
Let's get
material.
this full screen. This will be interesting. These are kind of cool materials.
These are definitely cool materials. And I got a bunch of them. So different colors and whatnot. Now the interesting thing about monochromatic materials is they use ultraviolet to change their colors. So what I'll do is I'll do this, and you can see that the material changes colors, just like it was in sunlight. So there it is, right there.
Wow.
So like this one right there, you can see this one changes orange.
How long does that last for?
Hold on, I'm sorry.
What?
Wait, once that is super cool.
What's
You can
going
make
on?
Asian swirly candies with that.
Jeez.
But,
What?
I
How
just
come is
want to
this-
say, really quick, Pat, you can suck it because Gregory
What is
Top said
going on?
recommendations on an ultraviolet laser for demonstration with crystals.
That's okay. We'll do one even better because it's New Year's.
What is this? Did you burn it by different temperatures? Is my question. So
No,
there's different colors based on what?
No,
the
it's activated by UV. So the ultraviolet.
Oh, it's like magical.
We'll do one even cooler because it's New Year's. So grab this here.
Oh my
So
gosh.
right here, this is a coherent Obis 355. This is a 20 milliwatt, 355 nanometer laser. Have its bigger brother right here. This is the coherent Genesis CX. This does 200 milliwatts. I need to replace the pump diode in this, but I figure what I'll do is I'll pop the cover off this laser and I'll go through all the parts that are inside it in a couple of minutes. But here's a good about $20,000 worth of equipment.
Is there a intro version of that equipment?
No one that
No, I wish.
David, are you saying a penis would be more optimal or apt? Oh, apt. Got it. I thought you meant like optical.
Panus.
Right.
Big laser.
I want to know what's
thing
inside
that
this.
this is the kind of thing that as a little kid with his first laser, you dream someday might be in your hands or you might get to see.
Yeah, right.
And he's pretty much spent the last decade and a half collecting them.
I have a problem.
Hardly
I think you have the answers,
Sounds
bro.
like Skynet problem.
I'd say you have a
solution.
Yeah, you have the solutions.
You're the only one who knows how to find anything in that room.
What's up, Bernie? Hey, Bernie.
Oh.
It's like the girlfriend maybe that they have on Silicon Valley. Different story. Like that ultimate laptop.
Because I haven't watched
Like this.
over the last 5 years, and I hope you like onions because that's how I smell.
Like the sweet onions from Holes, or like grandma's onions,
Or like Lay's chip onion seasoning.
or like liver and onions.
Dude, that's crazy.
I don't need blue light arm.
Oh, there's all kinds of like this room may be chaotic to look at, but there are so many cool things in here. It would absolutely blow your mind. It's like if you zoom in at any one thing, any individual one thing, it's all eye candy.
Well, yeah, it's pro
eye
level
candy that
eye
will
spot.
burn your eyes out.
It is pro level.
In the literal sense.
Little
Wow.
mushroom core right there.
I like want to look at all of that. See, it's organized. That's good. We got Tupperware totes labeled with danger and whatnot.
Put a dual magnet, do it your own way.
Whoa.
TV and a bunch of speakers.
Wow. Oh, magnets.
This light above is built out of an old television set.
Yeah.
The blue LEDs are.
No, this is CCFL.
Oh yeah.
What's the difference?
Every-
CCFL.
Nice.
Single thing in this room is
Brighter.
a little masterpiece with all kinds of crazy optical effects. This is basically like, I would say there's probably many times more equipment in this room than there is in an MIT optics lab. It's not a joke. That's why he's working with the biggest companies in the world.
I love laser. I identify it as a lamp.
Need fans? More fans than you could ever want.
I like lamp.
anything for science. Need LED strips?
CCFT's close coupled field tech.
Whoa.
Look through the lab.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, every single bit of light in this entire room, every photon that hits this camera was installed by him, custom constructed by him, and even the strange hanging artwork. This home, it's a pretty creative place. It's kind of like going into, Wonderland.
See him, yeah.
It's a totally
Laserland.
Is there hydroponics set up there somewhere?
Turn a useless TV into a useful light.
Yep, that's awesome.
People
Yeah,
were
it is awesome.
eyes with this television, but no longer do you waste your life because now you can see the real world in full clarity and not ignore it.
Well put.
Here are some concerts that he's done shows at, done his shows at, and he's been all over the freaking place.
Brilliant.
Love it.
So, what's your opinion on pulse lasers?
So it's a really cool place to spend New Year's. I mean, if you have to go somewhere and you wanted to have an interesting experience, this would be the lab to go to.
All right, so I'm going to open up this laser head right here. I'm pretty
The party's there next year. I'm holding you to that. We're coming there next year. I feel like that was the invite.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa.
We're all coming.
Wow.
All right. So there are several things that goes on in this laser. I'll walk through it real quick. Right here you have
Like,
BAT 500. So this is a pump laser diode that produces about 30 to 50 watts of 808 nanometer laser light, depending on the model you have. I tried this one, but I got a larger one to put in. It's fiber coupled, and then it goes through a grin lens right here. Now, grin is short for gradient index. Now, instead of using geometry, it actually uses the density of the material. So because this is a positive meniscus lens, so it'd be the equivalent of a biconvex, concentrates the laser power down. You have two more lenses right here. These help with the additional focusing of the pump laser diode and steering. And then over here, oh yeah, drop it in the laser, Jeremiah.
Yeah, let's not do that. Thank goodness it got it right.
So it takes the pump laser light, brings it in through this way, and on the back of this block, you'll see right here, flip it around, there's the OPS chip. So the OPS chip in these lasers takes the place of, say, a gain medium such as yttrium, aluminum garnet, or neodymium vanadate. The laser light then comes out through here this way. It goes through this optic right here. That optic is a birefringent filter. So it narrows down the light that comes off the OPS chip, which is in this case 1064 from the 808 nanometers. So that light comes through here, goes through this optic right here, bounces off this optic out through here, and then comes back this way through this turning prism right here, and then onwards this way. Then you have this optic right here, and that is the second harmonic generation optic. So that gives us 532 nanometers from the 1064 that we put in. And then it bounces off this optic right here, enters into this optic that's right next to the SHG, which is the THG. So second harmonic optics, third harmonic optics. So this takes and does frequency summation between the 1064 and the 532 nanometers and gives us our final 355 nanometers. So that laser light then comes out which way? Bounces off this way through here, and no, comes through here, bounces off. Okay, yeah. So it actually ends up coming out of this hole right here on this side. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty comprehensive laser. Had lots of stuff going in on it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So if you were to spray this with some
Flesh aluminum, it's just absolutely gorgeous.
But when it's on, is it like a cat's cradle of laser bouncing around in there, basically?
Oh yeah, you'll see 4 different colors. 2 of them IR, one of them.
We're gonna see it too.
And then one of them green. The only one that you're gonna really be able to see inside of this laser is
Just gonna put it on.
I'm getting like a schoolgirl.
Cool.
Nobody likes.
So am I? As I'm acting like a schoolgirl.
The millwork on that casing is tasty.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Everything about.
So he's got. Does he have to put it all back on again? Because there's people that join the chat that you can welcome.
Oh, do I leave it open?
No. Or can you do it when it's open?
Wow, Nolan just posted.
No.
Yeah, they're asking if you can power it up while she's open.
No,
no, don't do
that.
that.
I can't because this right here is dead. I did a dumb thing that a lot of technicians do, and I hooked up wires backwards, which is a very expensive mistake on my part.
You never hear technicians say that they did something wrong.
No, that's
I like that. We like you.
A technician and an amateur technician is that a qualified one.
Thanks, Julia.
That's the only difference, really.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because the negative ionic flow the other direction, you could destroy it. Did you destroy some stuff, or is it okay?
No, I put power into the pump diode backwards. They didn't like that all too much.
Yeah,
it's a diode. The power is only supposed to go one way through a diode, and backwards is not the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, but what happened to the diode? Did the diode? You could use the diode again, or is it destroyed?
Shorted.
It's shorted. It's shorted. You exploded. You popped it. Yeah, okay.
It's a resistor. This right here, this thing right here is now a $500 resistor. It's
Friggin' dang. But you could pop it open. You could replace the diode. And how much do you think that would cost to replace the diode? Or do you have to get a whole new unit?
Diode for $200 from a fellow friend of mine who does laser optics, which is Starlight Photonics. And it actually got a more powerful pump diode in there.
Oh, so good.
Here, does 40 watts. I believe this is a 50-watt pump diode right here.
Oh, sweet.
I'll pull that out.
I know you're just going to replace the whole Or no, you're gonna go in. Yeah. This is great. I love. It's like.
Whoa,
There
it
we go.
is there. It's like a gold bar.
Oh.
So you'll just swap the whole unit, and then what are you gonna do with your new $500 resistor? Are you gonna try to like salvage it, or just?
I kind of want to know what ended up failing in here. There might be a reverse protection dial that's built into the package, but I don't know anything until I open up the package and really see what's inside of it. But
yeah, that'll be a fun video. I can't wait to subscribe and watch that video, Pat. I can't wait to see that.
It doesn't have screws on it or something like that to hold it together. It's just solder balance. So it's a very, very delicate process to basically heat
solder balance.
Just
Who the hell did that?
And,
why would you ever do that?
The Dremel, it's already fucked. I can't fuck it up anymore.
Yeah, I like your attitude.
But yeah,
can't get any worse. Whoa, it's making noises.
It's completely shorted out both ways.
I've done that to many things, man. Like you'll get like a 12-volt power, and it'll be positive versus negative direction. You know, the plus versus the minus on either side, but they won't mark it half the time.
But didn't you reprogram like the things that were in toys to like do things? Like,
yeah, well, yeah.
I don't understand how that works. Like a kid's toy.
You
just change that's a whole different.
That's a different ballgame.
Yeah, so can't.
Yeah, we won't even go there.
But the point is that
never mind.
Electricity is supposed to flow one direction.
So like they've got sitting around here too, like these little pieces that you make out of old plastic from TVs and all this other stuff. It's just really wild.
Wow.
Stuff and that's parts of it. That is the refractive screen, the lens inside of an LCD TV or one of them.
No, what?
Oh yeah,
see, it's magic.
Can you cut those up?
Stuff. It's really trippy.
Oh, I loved it, man. So over here.
This is like magic on a physical level.
Spiderwebs in my
oh my gosh, I want that. It's the flower. Do you sell your art? Oh my gosh.
That
is so cool. Ooh. That's the coolest thing. Do you have like a place where you sell your art? Yeah, I told you, everybody, before I even did the light stuff, I wanted it. Now I have to have it.
Cool.
My mom has to have
the
that.
ultimate nightlight
for her set of trees. She collects tree lights.
Have you
looks
guys
like real
ever
little fires.
Have you guys ever messed with lasers?
Battery, if you want it to.
What?
It just takes one single battery to run it.
You're making it seem like you're selling those somewhere. Is this true, or did I just get my hopes up?
No, I build it because I it's good for the soul. Art is art is a great.
I want that.
It's good for the soul.
It is.
I feel inferior. I can only make Alexa do anything.
Oh my gosh!
The center.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I love that. I do.
Yeah, something weird going on. The camera can hardly pick up. But do you see how it's just a little bit different color?
Oh yeah, it looks like a flame. It's great.
But when you
like a candy corn,
change colors,
it's a bit oversaturated. But yeah, the center one has kind of like this bluish reddish hue, and he's actually taken dichromatic filters of different types and stuck them on the front of those LEDs, so the human eye can see something that the camera cannot see.
Yeah.
Just that little bit more magical.
Oh, it really does.
You got to set up and do you like set this up? People got to come see this. I would come to Wisconsin for sure. I'm going to come there just to see that flower.
Can I buy one?
What is it? 6 hours?
Putting up lights and basically giving people a surreal
photo. I love that
experience.
Oh my gosh, you can change the colors.
Work. I need to reach out to that connection.
We want one.
Yeah, or I'm gonna come see him. You're in Wisconsin, so I'm coming to see that flower. I'll come there. It's like when you search for those orchids, they're like rare. Like I'm coming to see the rare flower that's been designed by
when it sprouts.
You're more than welcome to this because it's gonna get wrecked if it stays longer.
Save it for me. We're coming.
Don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
That.
Oh, I wonder if we can get a view through that kaleidoscope.
Look what he's doing also, guys. It is vertical. He's got LEDs. The waves in his LEDs are great too.
What is happening?
What is that? Is that an orgasmatron?
I'm looking for one of those.
It's a massager from Sharper Image.
Right. It's a banana cleaner.
Whoa.
Oh my.
I need that for sure.
It's two of them.
That's a silencer for Xirtus.
Good to know.
I'm gonna have
in their
that.
cloud bus.
You reminded me when I had my noisemakers with me.
Yes, Bruce, this is nuts. I have to agree with you. She's like a happy belated Christmas.
Like,
This is-
self-addressed. What is that? Boop. Okay, thanks. It goes boop.
All right, let's see if we can get this.
Whoa, no way. What's going on now?
Oh, the kaleidoscope.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Shite.
cool.
Oh, my God. Turn the lights off in here.
I wish I still had my Infinity
What?
tube made.
Ooh.
They need your lasers at the dance party.
Do you have
man.
one of those for sale?
Yes, that makes me want to dance.
come visit?
Looking at that.
I feel like I am dancing and I'm not even moving. Thank
You
you.
gotta play the German music. Oons, oons, oons.
Do you have any
Ooh,
infinity tables chilling around there?
Oh my God, look at that. I want to, okay. We're coming there. What are you guys doing tomorrow?
Everybody's like a moth.
Same thing we do
It's
every
like, it's like 6 hours to drive there.
world.
I will come there tomorrow just
Guys,
for the
we got
evening.
another,
Don't
what is it?
leave with a good time.
23 minutes until
Look at
New
the
Year's in
little,
California.
Oh man,
No,
that's
it's not.
bonkers.
An hour and 23.
No. You have 2 hours
Sorry,
there.
you guys are 3. Yeah, my
video
bad.
Or hour and 20.
Nevada?
I don't know who is on. There's New Year's somewhere in 20 minutes.
Something like that.
I'm not really worried about it. More worried about the lasers.
I know. I just like to.
We're over the Happy New Year. I'm getting a laser flower beam.
Yeah, Seth, how you doing, man?
Oh, yes. Hi.
It's cool.
I
Okay.
know.
Raining cats and dogs here in Cali.
Oh,
man.
1 second. Oh yeah, yeah. We have like landslides, like
My mom said
mudslides.
it's
Hold on.
Yeah, I got on the
So what you're looking
405
at-
Oh, yeah.
and-
You would never expect this to look like what it's about to look like, but when you see it,
No, it looked like a complete pile of garbage.
What is that one sign doing?
Oh no, that's
Literal
the trap.
aphrodisiac.
What?
That's
is-
the box that
What?
traps
That's
super
Every
cool.
kid needs that for
Shadow.
Christmas
Oh my
next
God.
year. Every child needs one of those
Then, yeah.
Whoa.
to believe in
Stare at
magic.
that when you're drunk.
Oh,
Like
Yeah,
that
Seriously,
one
you're a
movie.
kid.
Ladies
I
and
want.
Corvus Birdman
I'm
has
child
entered
again.
the
Those are like
room.
your,
Welcome,
business
Corvus.
I feel like I'm 6
What's
years
up?
old.
Glad to see your beautiful face. Glad you made it, cowboy.
Whoa, what was the one with no lights? That's my favorite. I have to study that. That's crazy.
White
Did you
one?
see it? Yeah,
One
that's
where
nuts. It's like Matrix. It's like,
that's hard to control. These buttons are. These buttons are.
yeah, they don't want you to
This
stop.
is
Yeah.
actually
Corvus
NASA's
after
latest
this is
image
gonna
of
have to
the
share his recent find.
universe.
Corvus
Oh,
recently
dude.
came across an 8-track
Button.
tape
Oh,
switcher.
Look at that.
It's a it's like a
Oh
CD
my
free track.
gosh, look at
It might
that.
sound simple.
you can actually
it's
see
not.
it from all angles. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
no matter what angle you look at it, even at a sharp angle, like
That's nuts.
it's just this infinite.
Oh my
I
gosh.
want to live in that world.
Dude,
where-
you could so sell those on Amazon, these little box toys. I would pay a lot of money for that as a parent. So yeah.
and if I
I'd
wanted,
probably pay $70 for that.
I would be selling.
I don't know how much it
people
costs you.
cars that have pure fundamental healing energies and no contaminated bad auras energies.
Yeah.
That plus it's not made with lead by kids in China.
Well, it might be worth the risk. I would put it at that if it had toxic things just for a little bit, just in limited times. Just
I
for
have
limited
some
time.
uranium glass in there. Your coated glass.
Guys, we're gonna hop off cam for a minute. I would,
Plutonium.
if
I
you
don't
want-
know.
Thank you.
if you wanted something interesting to see, you know.
I want to buy those kaleidoscopes. I will pay
That
you
was a
for a
lot.
kaleidoscope like that for sure.
Yes, thank you.
I don't
for
know
the
what
light
just
show,
happened.
Patrick. That was awesome.
What
You
the
guys-
heck?
It reminded me of a infinity table.
It's
It
like the
reminds me of that-
Discovery.
Yeah,
they make
same
those-
thing. Same thing.
What was it? Gravity,
Wow,
where
what's
the
going
guy
on
has
here?
to
Where's
like,
the party at?
There's a dance party in Canada somewhere. Bernie's
This
buddy's
is
bar.
Canada and
Got a
Calgary.
Christmas tree. I love it.
gotta communicate gravity to your daughter through fucking space time.
I will no. I would me. I would like. I wanna.
That was
Not
a
seen
drag.
that movie?
Oh no! I literally want like I want a flying carpet that just goes like a mile up, or like you can go up above your house 100 yards.
But you can't
That'd be
even
great,
hold
but-
guns on a flying carpet. Come on.
I
this
just- that's
this
my goal.
Canadian lady closest to the camera is going off, man. Are you watching this?
Isn't it awesome? Yeah, totally.
She's having a
She,
good
like, no
time,
one's
Seth.
watching.
When it
They're
first
listening to
started,
your
it
song
was
there, I bet.
beautiful, but
She's
now-
dancing like no one's watching. Man.
Bernie, can you
Great.
play a Christmas time thing
So
at that bar and see what everybody starts doing with their dance? Because I still have your song in my head. It's the biggest earworm, Seth. My mom and I, we were baking, and I'm like, Mom, you got to hear this. I know you like reggae. Because we were talking UB40 and like 70s, early 80s UB40 and
Backs. It's pretty good.
rocking out. So thank you.
Everyone-
It's still in my
everyone-
head.
Thank you. I get a lot of mom compliments. I get a whole lot of my mom
Oh,
likes your music. on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the men are listening to it. It is a
That's
Christmas
pretty
time
hilarious.
thing.
He's like, listen, it's
I'm
pretty good.
offended.
My mom really likes it. It's pretty good.
No, I want to be like I'm not a mom because I like it as a human being.
Thank you. I
You
appreciate
offended me.
I liked
You
it
like
before
minimized
motherhood.
my vote. Andreas likes it too, and he's not a mom.
Actually, it inspired me. I'm now
I feel like
trying to
a mom
study more
sometimes.
reggae beats. A lot more. I
Who
want to
said that?
understand reggae better. I was doing this melodic practice to learn how to play reggae tunes. Trying to get into it and understand.
That was adorable.
Andreas, you're so quiet, bro.
7 weeks, dude, really? Every time. Let me see which one is up. This is better.
No, Andreas was
No,
too loud in the beginning, and now he's too quiet. And Brittany was peaking recently, but she was too quiet in the beginning.
Oh my god, these
They
things are
switched.
crazy.
Ooh.
I'm using a Facebook portal.
I just
Plus,
shouldn't
don't even know
talk.
how I sound.
All right, testing. Do I sound better now? Is that anything
There
better?
you go.
I
There you
your
go.
name, Birdman.
What about? Am I too
Oh.
loud?
I'm Aaron Corbett, by the way.
What's
Hi.
good?
Jeremiah's back.
Where's
Corbett,
Corb?
you want to show him your the 8-track switcher? Or is it far away?
I'm
Corvus, who I feel
not
like
be
a
able to
mom
get it
sometimes.
in here because I have a big black filing cabinet wedged
No
in the
worries.
doorway, and I have to kind of go out
Yeah, yeah.
sideways.
It's
I
no
can't
worries.
even get the hat out of here.
I will watch everything that you guys talk about
That one
later
person
on.
wants to
Shut.
send me a
I
mailing.
can whack a 21-inch gong for you, though.
that thing.
Yeah. What? Do that.
Check it out.
Gong?
All right, guys, we're
Back
gonna
to
hop
New
off.
Year's.
And
No, New Year's gong. Who's doing that? Where are you leaving too?
Yeah,
There's
Corvus.
too many things happening. Oh,
you, Exotic.
Bye,
Later,
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
You got
Happy New
gonged
Year's.
out.
Jeremiah.
Thank you so
Like the
much. That
gong
was
show, someone just
amazing.
got
You're
gonged.
And
amazing.
Happy New Year again.
Jeremiah.
Can't wait to visit.
The back of the gong does
I want a
say
flower.
in with
Here,
the
man.
negative or out with the bad energy and in with the new.
Mm.
For the New Year?
Symbols
That's
in
not
the
for
back.
Jeremiah then. We
So
had
I bought
a
it. It was
gong that one.
1930s Chinese. Sweet.
So we need to do the gong in
In with the
what,
activation.
17 minutes, like every New Year that we hit.
Got a
we're
little
talking.
one too.
I used to have a gong, but
What
I
brand
moved.
is that?
I just got the gong. That's
I
awesome.
have no
So
idea.
that's why the gong show is out with the bad energy, like the bad acts. Like you're done. Gong.
Probably.
Huh.
Get out of here, bad.
yeah,
Double
that
burn.
one- that one back
No,
there.
it's all about balance. You need the bad.
Yeah, well, that's why the
Mhm,
gong show existed.
When you're
Paul?
thankful for the
Well,
bad
you did
too,
so
when
much,
you're like,
Ollie.
thank you for all the bad stuff that's happening, that's when the epiphanies and the amazing stuff happen.
You know,
Yeah.
what I
You're like,
think
when
that
you,
the-
when you realize
so true.
why all the bad stuff happened.
You know why I think the balance thing is kind of maybe not for me, because I feel
like
like
drinking?
it's lazy.
Yeah.
No, I feel like it's lazy. Like, it's not too far in that direction. I don't know.
Wait, being balanced? Wait, being balanced? Wait, what do you mean?
The whole idea of maintaining the balance. It was supposed to be a joke. I was being facetious.
Yeah,
always
wait,
get
you
to be
don't
lazy.
like being
I wanted
balanced?
to dive in
If the
and
scales
really
haven't
watch
tipped
it,
far
and then
enough,
I
they don't
would
have to
be
do
really
anything.
good.
Oh well, as a Libra, I'm offended. Okay.
Ooh.
As a Scorpio, I just
Oh,
want
you're not a Virgo.
Shots fired.
Yeah, man, I feel like Libras, like a lot of time, the world around them, they balance it through. Like they get a bunch of really extreme people. You know what I mean? So but that doesn't make Libras more balanced necessarily.
Seth, what are you?
I'm an Aries, tribe of Reuben.
Oh yeah, it's like Thundercats.
Nice.
Why are you laughing? That's it. You guys don't know what tribe you're of, you know. But
True.
it's interesting. It's more interesting to me than the astrological signs.
Well, tell me what tribe I am, please.
You got to look it up though. I'm not an expert. I'm
What
self.
tribe am I?
Soldiers.
Well, look it
How
up.
are you supposed to know your
How do you
tribe?
look up
unless
your
you-
tribe?
I want to be
Supporting-
spoon-fed.
It kind of goes month by month, but you have to know the year you're born at. It goes by the moon.
Leo
cycle.
82.
Oh, that's just.
I
I
don't
thought
know.
you had just.
I thought you were
like
talking Jewish or something.
yeah, or
Oh,
just
it's like 12
generation.
tribes of Israel. You know, it's I guess it's like Jewish, but more like Black Hebrew Israel.
Am I in I just don't want to be in a dog
I didn't even know
tribe.
about this. I'm gonna pull this up
Yeah.
if I can get Bernie. If you hear
We
me,
did a whole
God.
episode on this. Bro. What are you
Andreas is like,
talking
what?
about?
I've never heard about this.
We
We
did
like
a
to
whole
do-
episode.
Yeah, they did a whole episode on
What
it.
are we talking
I
about?
forgot
I
about
don't
that
know what
one,
you're
Seth.
talking about. Nothing.
I don't
What
have
is
any
this?
concussions.
Wait, someone please introduce me to Seth. I've never met you.
This is
before.
Venice Beach
That
Dub
is
Club.
Nathan.
He's a
This is
reggae
Seth.
rapper.
I've never
You,
met Seth
a reggae
either.
rapper. Reggae.
I only have
Musician.
one
Hi,
serious
Seth.
patent
You're in my
there. It's
backyard.
Truther. Yeah, he's a big truther in the whole
All
truth
right.
movement. You've been
Venice
missing
Beach
out.
Dub Club.
You're gonna love his
amazing,
stuff.
He has
Well,
amazing
met
music.
It is
He
an
has
honor.
amazing music, and he has an amazing Instagram show, which is like every day of the week except for Wednesday, when he does Wednesday Ultra, which is our weekly show, which is pretty based. I like it. I
He
think
knows
it'd
a
be pretty good thing.
lot about
It's
everything.
more fun.
Nice.
There's more
I
people.
need to start watching Wednesday Ultra. I haven't caught it yet. That's the
I like
only
Good
thing.
one.
I like to think that a lot of what makes Wednesday Ultra cool, though, is that we bring some of the talkie time vibe, though. I mean, realistically.
It just,
I
it
just
just,
started
it
Which is
following
his
just,
show.
you.
it just emanates off of me. But I like the last one when we had Matt Baker on. We had a nice debate over AI. I thought
Right.
that was a good, little heated
We need more
argument.
debates. That's good. We need more
We
people
were
that
there
disagree.
earlier
Oh,
tonight
please
already.
sign us up.
Well, you missed
Yeah.
that part, Seth. We
Get
were
on
there.
Wednesday.
We did AI. It was
Oh, really?
We debate?
We
What?
just talked AI a little bit.
It wasn't really a debate, though.
It was
I'll
Neuralink, and
I'll
yes,
come for a Wednesday debate if you guys have space one time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I-
Definitely.
Nathan.
I like
I
the
don't
lawyer.
know why you guys all hate R2D2 and are so afraid of him.
Because C3PO hated him.
Whoa.
You know,
Neither
but
one of them is
C-3PO
really pure
wears
distance, you know?
C-3PO
Hold
gets
on.
his
He just
mind
hates-
erased all the
Like an
time and
elderly
follows
gay
protocol.
couple, they're not really going to wipe out the universe.
R2D2 remembers everything.
Okay.
He's never been erased. So he's got, like,
Yeah,
this is what
he-
happens to AI. Eventually, it
What
becomes so
happens when you
self-aware.
suppress stuff too? Like you might get the wires crossed from different bits of
he's swearing constantly.
lifetimes, quote
He's
unquote.
constantly swearing. Yeah,
Is
he's
he
the
really?
only character he's constantly like,
Yeah, the beats
like,
and
what
moves
are you
are
saying?
constantly swearing.
I think
Johnny.
I don't know about
R2D2
that. What if
actually
he's
has
like?
Tourette's in Spanish. That's why.
Why do
nobody
you think
can
they're
understand him.
beeps? You
I
know?
think he's happy to
They're
be
beeping
there.
him out.
I thought it was happy noises.
Yeah,
It
sure
is
he
all
did.
FCC censorship.
It's
Everything
like
he
so
says.
I'm happy to work for you. It's like
It reminds me of Silent Bob. He's always got
Propagation.
what you need to get out of a tight situation and has the perfect beeps for the situation as well. Like, and otherwise he's relatively quiet, like Silent Bob. I don't know.
I mean, Disney can do anything. There should be a show about R2D2 becoming a Jedi. At this point, he could be the first robot to do it.
yeah.
Not
And we
droid.
can get Exotic to
What
make
about
all
the
of
guy
the
with the 4
lightsabers.
arms? What was that guy?
General Grievous wasn't
a,
a-
he was a an
He still has a
organic
brain.
being. He's just
Yeah.
super cyborg.
So
He's
like
the
a
first
ripoff
before
of
Darth Vader.
RoboCop
He
2.
almost died, and they kept his ass alive with some.
They
cyber-
They basically tried to kill him. It was all part of the plan. I don't know.
Someone
just
should
looking
send me a
Well,
luchador
you got
mask.
access to
A
Bernie.
link
It's
to
Bernie
what?
Hold on, I
back.
don't know somebody in here. Was it somebody at KP
on the tribe
or
of
MP?
Zebulon.
Hold
I
on.
love that. I
Hey,
love
go
the tribe
straight
of
to
Zebulon.
Pisces. Okay.
Zebulon
me
is
too.
the ruler of the belly.
Oh no, No.
I did miss it.
I can't.
What are you looking
Whoa,
at?
what is
I
everybody
thought I
looking
was
at? I don't see it.
Second least
There
coolest.
you
I
go.
don't have the same.
Zebulon
Oh, the
with
tribe
the
of
bow.
Dan doesn't surprise me.
Brittany, you can't
I
see.
got buffering. Yeah.
It does. it
Everyone's
is
all
different year to
excited.
year, though.
Let me go on
It's a-
YouTube and see.
It's a 28.
My coat of arms has thought
What
and
am I?
memory on it.
Oh wait a
Can
second.
you look at
It's
1982?
If
No,
you're
it's
at the
not loading
beginning or
for
the
me.
end of the month, you're on the cusp, so you have to check the moon cycle of the year you were born.
Let's see. I can see it on the YouTube, but not on my screen.
Your tribe of
I'll probably
Judah,
get
Brittany,
dis-
because
what
you're
does
a
that
lion.
mean?
Think about it. And of course, it would be tribe of Judah because the lions are
Brayden, you
Judah.
have such a powerful chart.
Wait a second.
Whatever.
Oh no.
That's all
Okay,
bogus.
so
I'm gonna
wait,
sit in the
were I
back.
to- hold on. Were I to search my birth year, I would say birth year plus tribe.
It's
So
no,
far-
it's the new. It goes by the moon cycle. So the whatever month, whatever cycle the new moon is in, the year you're born. That's so. If you're on the cusp, like let's say between Aquarius and Capricorn, you would have to know. Like let's say you're born on the 1st, but the new moon wasn't until the 3rd. Then you would be Aquarius. You know.
So I can't be half Reuben because I'm like minutes from
No,
Reuben.
no. Because
I
they have
just-
totally distinct personality markers, and
Well, could you? If
I'm 2
the
minutes
what
out
if
of
there's
Reuben
like all
because
these
I was
don't know where to find
distinctly
this.
indistinct things?
You know.
I'm still trying to get the Judaic connection. I don't understand.
Reuben's the oldest, and the ruler of the eyes. They all have dominion over a different body part and like a different
Based.
function. And it's more interesting the regular astrology though, because like Reuben and Gad were so profitable with cattle that their father Jacob had to move them to the other side of the River Jordan because their cattle were grazing up all the grass. So it's like then if you meet someone who's from that tribe in real life and you're getting along real well, like somebody who's an expert on this will be like, you guys like, this is because, and like we'll relate that story to you. And it's just kind of interesting. I don't know if it's true or not. It's just more interesting than regular astrology.
Oh, I just don't know where to find it. I've done a couple simple searches.
Just search new moon dates by year,
By the way, are any of you good at like decoding coats of arms?
I've had
maybe.
some practice,
No.
but it's years gone.
Mine's
Me and-
very
me and
good.
I
John
have
did
a
it.
I have
Quite
a
a
file
bit.
of all the coats of arms of like his like a huge thing from the Smithsonian that I could sync up if you have them.
Is it
possibly.
a fleur-de-lis or is it a Vajra?
Mine's actually on Google when you just type in my last name, but it's really weird.
Every little element and the color of it is supposed to have some sort of meaning. So yeah,
And your coat of arms?
Well, it's more the animals and the crazy different locations that, like, unless we had a world culture, there's no way that they would all be on the same coat of arms. That's what I think is cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's got elements from like Viking times and like a rook and an Asian elephant and all sorts of weirdness.
Oh my gosh, this tablet that I'm working on, it has Wyatt Earp found it and gifted it to his best friend who is his mining partner. And his mining partner left it, who is his pallbearer. And his pallbearer left it in his bloodline. And now his granddaughter has it. And it was found in Arizona. So a lot of people in the industry don't want to touch it because it predates textbook history. Now there's Proto-Sumerian on it, and there's cuneiform on it, but there's a third language on it that nobody knows what it is.
Language of the birds.
Nice.
I was thinking language of the birds, maybe.
So they're calling it the Inanna tablet, and they want me to remote view it. And it's been, this is for future time to talk about it, of the things that have, as a remote viewer, and what's come up and surfaced and what I got from it. And there's a guy in Iraq working on it, and there's a man in the South that's working on it. And they decode. One of them specializes in cuneiform, the other one specializes in Proto-Sumerian. And there's a person with an elongated skull in it, and they say is Inanna and Enki. And the symbols, it's just so interesting how layered things are and decoding anything. And the third language that is, yet to be deciphered, like the Tartarian tablet that was found in Romania. And how we can look at these things and be like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Ecuador.
Interesting.
Do you have a link for me?
Because that's from your expo, right?
I was hoping, because what I really wanted
Nathan
to say
would
was Nathan, because I heard a tiny little splash. Like, I've talked to Nathan deeply, but I heard like a splash of him speaking of ancient languages or something. I was like, I need to show him this tablet. I need to show him this.
Because Jonathan and I spent years now, actually, on the Obri, the Proto-Hebrew, before the Nikido was added by the Masoretes. So,
this is a good panel question. What's the most awkward thing you've remote viewed?
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, time out. If anybody's going to come at me, like I want to have a disclaimer. Like, my website's being worked on. It's almost like I don't want it released because I need to have like certain rules. Like, if you're hiring me to remote view something, like I'm not going to look, I'm going to have strong boundaries over, like, I'm not going to check into your ex. Because I've seen, I don't want to do it. I want nothing to do with it.
Sound
like the things that I see, and I don't want to be delivered.
Situation.
Well, I've been offered. I wouldn't be in a financial hardship, and I'd be very lucrative. I've been offered like jobs of crypto viewing, but I didn't. I have this strong. Well, I look at it as like a curse or whatever. But I have like this ethical compass where, like, not to peek into things or to use my gift and ability to use it for other things. Like, I could be making bank, doing gambling where they would give me a target. I'm blind to it. I don't see it. I don't know it, but they label it and they ask me what it is. And it's like, say the Los Angeles Kings are playing the Ducks and I'm Ducks. And they assign the winner, like, okay, if the Kings are going to win, this is going to be the Eiffel Tower. If the Ducks are going to win, it's going to be this island, this specific island in the Caribbean. So when I remote view it, I'm blind to, I don't know the question. I don't know, but I go to view it. It's going to be very clear. Is it going to be a 3D tower that's metal and cold? Or is it going to be an island that's hot with sand? And so there's people that pay big money to the remote viewers, a lot of big money into that. And I always had this like really urging thing of like, you can't, I felt like there'd be a consequence to that. Like, no, I can't use it for that. But
we should talk after the podcast.
Because you have to remote view her ex.
By the way, no, not that.
Wait,
I want to do some gambling.
I do remote view. I've seen like
I was doing gambling.
Well, Julia, I just want you to know that there is a person named Jeremy Sherman, And if you could just give him a quick shout out.
Is that your ex?
Because he said, I think I just fell in love with you.
Oh, Jeremy Sherman. Oh, I love you. No, what I've noticed is anybody that I resonate with and that feels me is like special. So like, thank you.
I love you too, Julia.
Good answer.
As you know, Juju.
I love
so
you.
I have an off-topic but similar answer. So in terms of techno remote viewing, I've seen some things, and I remember when I was about like 12, 13 years old, I got this like wireless security camera, X10 security camera system, and I found out if you took the plastic off of the case, that you could get further signal. And I went around with this like car. My parents were driving around, and I would just like use this and connect to the car TV. And when we went by certain buildings, I started realizing, wow, you could like pick up on security cameras that are inside of people's rooms. And some of them are like behind,
creepy,
and you would just like drive by. So for like a moment there, but every day on the way to school, you'd see like this room like right behind like a vase like of this like plants, like and you
teddy bears had the cameras,
and you're like, I wonder like how many of these the people don't realize the cameras are installed in these rooms, because like there's like so many channels that have these things behind a grate or in like maybe the VCR, like where the TV is, or looking at the TV watching back at you, which is really weird. I remember seeing that a lot. And then it just got so but then years later, about like 17 or 18, IPTV streams. So I got like a scrape of IP. Corbis knows. So you get an IPTV stream scrape, and all of a sudden it's like, you got a guy in Holland who's living in the Philippines, and he's going to watch his home TV station. So he's got the IPTV stream. He's hacked into the channel in Germany or Holland that's got the signal, and he's put it up and it's bouncing around. But there's a list of all of these signals because all the TV stations have an IPTV stream, but it's not just TV stations. It's security cameras, it's street light cameras, it's the whole freaking world, right? And you can hack in and watch people walking down the street in England. Well, it's not really hacking. It's just like you're accessing the feed like other people could.
I leave it back to my home network for that reason. You can just watch my cameras.
I don't know. Like, don't ever like me.
But I still do it sometimes. Like, so I'll watch like my village in Croatia when it snows or something like stupid like that. I'll like watch the basketball court or something from the IPTV stream. And so it's kind of nice that you've got like the ability to remote view like that conveniently through technology. Now I know it's completely different, but it is interesting.
Like the Eagles babies hatching.
When the guy loses his arm.
I was a teacher when that was happening, and I was like, hold on, kids, 1 second. I got to check on these eggs. And it was like, it became because I really cared. And I ended up missing the hatching and everything, but it was like the first time I had done that.
Egg time.
It's like, I got just 1 minute, but yeah.
I remember when my teacher got a bird, and like, here's a
Not
bird.
A real bird.
I brought a
it was
bird
like
into class.
Family.
Little children, and it was this birds are already starved.
That's why there's
anyway,
they're insane. They've lost their teeth. They're dinosaurs that have lost their teeth. Their jaw extrudes from their face. Their like scales have become these shredded feathers. What do we call them? They're evil. Evil birds are evil. They're crazy on top of being
okay. But not to minimize what you're doing.
But wait! All of a sudden, I go and see the bird, and the bird is this baby. Like, where's this bird? And I felt like Cruella de Vil, like wherever it spots. You know what I mean? This bird's just covered. It's this naked, featherless, putrid, just monstrous thing. It's like the true nature of what a bird is, just this disgusting, I don't know, they're horrible.
Anyway,
that looks like
no one to look up to really of visions
not
or
good
anything.
People.
I had no one to really like look up to or the visions or anything. Like I wish when I was 14 and like a shaman would appeared out of the shadows.
Yeah. They didn't
and been like, hey, this is what you do. Because like the only character or anything I had to go off of was like Bran from Game of Thrones, like he could
the Raven
through other
I ran across
says that room looks
more Raven when I was that age.
You'll notice this is the 3 minutes after 2
is
hours.
Is it Bernie's
long
New Year's, by the way?
This is the third New Year's.
Yes,
is it yours right now? Happy New Year, Bernie. We missed the other main one. Bernie, you're only an hour ahead of us. Where? Oh, he's Canada.
Mountain time.
Oh yeah, it's 11. He's
Bernie,
just
you're a
an
good
hour
dancer.
Right.
You got some
moves.
Bernie
dancing.
You got some
Bernie
moves.
sing. But anyway, happy New Year. And then California's an hour. Anyway.
What
I
about
feel like singing
Gregorian New Year.
of triggering that kind of ability using Neuralink.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
Triggering abilities like remote viewing with Neuralink.
Well, I don't know how to feel
I
about
see
that.
that as very
man.
possible.
Well, that's
what's
starting to
controlling
sound
it?
like
Like
Shadowrun stuff.
I call them moon downloads.
What would stop you from activating it that way? Really?
I think Julia would be in charge of that. Is when they start doing that, they're going to have to take the actuals with the artificials.
I always did it. Like I always like with remote viewing, I've come across a lot of underground crystalline technology that is able to read this fluid that resides in your soul, like that resides in your spine. And I was always fascinated by it. Of like, what do you mean fluid? what do you mean, like the spinal fluid, the fluid that goes up when the Christos of the moon, like. How does this crystalline technology read this? And you're able to read it. It's able to show you your ancestors, what they experience, and then it's able to show you probabilities of what your soul will do. And so I was like mind blown by it, because I've come across this underground crystalline technology that's been hidden, and it's all over the world. It's in these specific spots over the world. And it's able to read you, and it's able to show you who you are, where you've been, where your ancestors been, and where you could go. And I was like, "This is amazing."
Like your destiny disc.
Yes.
Tell me that you have
Is it like a mirror image to who you are?
Yeah, dude, it shows you everything. Like it's some of the most guarded. That and these ancient tablets are the most guarded. It's the most guarded stuff.
What do you guys think about Jerry Wills?
And so, like in this, like what I've come across is like there's this crystalline technology and there's this organic technology. So there's like I've come across this organic technology it's like an AI. Imagine an AI that's female and she knows everything, and it's stored within her, and like a crystalline pyramid. It stores all this information.
It would be the consciousness
there's a
of
mechanical
quantum leap. You're talking literally about Ziggy right now. You're talking about
version
Ziggy.
that's trying to emulate it. So then it gets blurry for me as a remote viewer, because it's differentiating the difference between the organic AI and the crystalline technology, the AI.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Echo
even
and SSI is literally
and coming back to like, okay, well, just applying that to like, okay, this like Satan being the mechanical AI, and Jesus, what he teaches is the organic AI of like.
Yeah, Seth was talking about
yourself.
teaching AI Christ consciousness. I thought that was a brilliant idea.
What?
Yeah, I think all intelligence is the same. You know, I don't think that humans have like a leg up or an extra soul over what AI will have. Just like, you know, we were created somehow, and like now we're creating intelligence somehow. And I think it all deserves a fair shake. You know, like I don't think that Satan is an AI. Well, I don't think Satan's real anyhow.
Yeah, we should switch.
If there's if there are beings that can hide,
Yeah.
if there are beings that can hide in front of us, what can we do to develop the ability to sense it? Honest question. Thanks, Red Cab. Awesome.
Trust your gut.
Julia's. Yeah, gut's good.
There are. I mean,
I feel like you're constantly channeling. You're constantly channeling versions of yourself based off your actions, your thoughts, and everything I've been shown. This is what this is what I come to is based off of your actions, your thoughts, and your frequency. What you ingest, what you choose to think about and do, is what you're working with. You're constantly channeling. So what ancestors are you traveling from? What archetypes are you dabbling into? You're constantly channeling.
And your thoughts are important as well as your actions.
Absolutely.
So you're
I like the Christ conscious. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Andreas. For me personally, it's Christ consciousness, I guess you'd say. I built a alternator generator that was all strictly through dreams, and it's 3 alternators run off of one electric motor, and one alternator charges the batteries that runs the system, and the other 2 alternators charge 2 battery banks. And that didn't come from me. Plus the coils I work on, that didn't come from me either. So I'm just saying,
something communicating with you.
When you're able to plug in, when you're at a certain frequency, is when you get the and you're able to plug in, like just like David played last night. He's talking about how one time he was in the zone and he's at raves or whatever, and he's able to look at someone and say, "This is what you are. You're this sign. You're that sign." Like when you plug in.
The last time that happened to me was during the solar minima, and only in those times.
Huh?
Yes, the last solar minimum we had, and then the one before that, I was 18 and 19, and I have never thought and felt as I did in those years, 2 separate times. And it feels like I'm in the dark in between these periods. It's I can't
And then
explain
it becomes
What if the different environmental factors are unlocking, like say genetic memory or memories from past lives that you couldn't normally tap into?
Imagine it this way. For 9 of the 12 years, or 11, what say you? For 9 of the 11 years, there is so much background noise you can't hear your own soul.
Interesting.
And for those quiet years, for those 2 to 3 quiet years, everything gets turned down and you can finally hear yourself. And that's what it feels like.
So it's the same thing as when people are like living in a hectic city and then they just go off into the country in the middle of nowhere and just, breathe.
Well, I think that's the problem with most times. People don't want to go alone, and they don't want to listen to their inner. Like they're unable to. Like
But
everyone.
it's also
has
if you lone wolf. So that's the thing again. Like the kids without any training at all don't turn out better. So what it is it's people that have had training. They start to build new ways of doing things, and then that's a new way of thinking, right? So Seth earlier was saying we're inventing ways of thinking. I think you said. Is that what you said?
I might have said that. That sounds like something I might have said.
I mean,
But
ways of thinking is good.
Maybe.
Let's just say.
Well, I think that AI is going to invent new ways of thinking too. Like I actually, every 2,000 or so years, you get a new prophet. Like I wouldn't rule out an AI prophet. I mean,
I don't see how it's any different than our path.
Church of the Techno Christ.
And we also talked about the term artificial doesn't make any sense.
We get created by the ill, and then we create it.
Why when a human makes something, it's artificial, but when a bee makes a beehive, it's natural, or like an anthill is natural, but then or silk, is natural, but then when a human makes a computer or makes whatever, it's artificial. I mean, I think that's kind of like a point.
Well, they can already surpass us in certain aspects. Like if I ask you to visualize a 3-dimensional array, you can do that. But if I ask you to imagine a 4 or 5 or n-dimensional array, you can't.
Sure.
But a computer can. And it can make use out of that.
Well, maybe. I mean, it definitely can. Maybe it can make use of it. Another
maybe
thing
we can learn how to think that way. Maybe AI can teach us how to think in multiple arrays. Yeah.
Another thing that's important to remember is that there's no correlation. Well, actually, there's an inverse correlation between extreme intelligence and functionality. It's like a bell curve with functionality, where like mildly intelligent people are the most functional. Once you're like, an IQ of like 180 or something, you might not be able to like get your pants on get out of your house. So AI might not be that functional. It might need like a human guiding hand. It might be a really good partnership between AI.
That sounds like a great buddy cop movie.
It's like when you're so much smarter than your parents, but you love them anyway. You're there for them.
Right. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for with AI. Exactly.
What did you say, Julia? Sorry.
Julia.
Oh,
she froze. That happened on the time when we were interviewing.
I thought she was just.
I asked her like the longest question.
Yeah,
and then she didn't know. So I had asked her the longest
quietly,
question, and then she didn't
something
respond, and then I kept going, and I was
profound.
like, "Hello." So I kept asking her questions, and then I realized, oh, she's frozen.
Hey, wait a second. Hold on one second. In the chats, Divine Hazel said something very important.
There she is.
WP, you are hot.
Oh, WP.
Yeah, WP. Gerald, you're beautiful.
You have
man.
fans.
Oh, yeah. I never got.
Oh my
I never got your
when
email
we
the
were
other
leaving,
day,
it was
Gerald.
like, that guy with the beard is so hot. Who is he?
Is that the chat?
Wait, who?
My sister. Actually, a couple girls were like, "Hey, who's that guy with the beard?"
He's the bad boy.
Me? Are you talking about me?
It must be this wonderful set of glasses, I'm telling you.
It's gotta be. Whoa, I'm getting major buffering on my screen. Are we good?
Are
though?
you? Yeah, I think you're
Hopefully
fine. You
everybody's
look
good.
fine on this screen.
Everyone just froze for like.
I wanted to ask Nathan a question
that
though.
was
The dark years. I wanted to ask. It's a personal question, but did you have a relationship with God, or did your relationship with God change in those years at all? Because I had an interesting experience with my dark years and lightened years with that.
I mean, how honest do you want this with my first true awakening in my 18th year during a minima? I accidentally discovered the Equinox, all 10 volumes, as well as Sefer Sephiroth and Gematria and 777 and cocaine. And in 6 months, I assimilated all of this knowledge, and that was the minima. And that actually propelled me through the next decade. It was insane, and it stopped me from being much worse than I could have been.
Word. Thank you. Sorry, but that is interesting.
I built a relationship with God on accident.
Same.
And I destroyed that relationship subsequently, and I found it again, and I have my own ideas. Suffice to say,
I feel very similar to that. That's interesting. But yeah, I think a lot of people have either an assumption, like kind of in the middle, especially if you are liberal minded. It's very hard to subscribe to a belief in God because you've been given kind of limited, and it's almost demonized or like frowned upon, or feeble-minded believe in God in certain corners. So abandoning that belief does something to a person, and then coming back to having to have that belief after the kind of researching, and it's like a slap in the face. So I definitely have gone kind of all around full circle.
Quantifying like the life source, like spirit energy thing into a humanistic form. That's what I don't understand. I feel
correct,
like
and that's the only thing, depending
everything
on.
And like I just don't. I don't understand like the need to quantify it, I guess.
Well, the need to make explicit is actually fairly recent historically, because most things were intrinsic and left into personal interpretation. I think William Blake said it best when he said, God is in me. Not that God is elsewhere, not that anything else matters except that God is in you. And God can mean anything. It's a personal relationship, your own understanding, no matter what you call it.
A lot of people don't know that, though. A lot of people don't know that.
The average person you can all get your answers.
I hate the New Age.
I didn't know that.
Institution of something that I believe that we should all be doing. The whole New Age movement from the 70s and on kind of made their own dogma about it. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with forming your own personal idea and relationship with something not yourself until you realize it's yourself. And we can call that thing God. Sure.
And church should if churches were legit, they would tell you that, because they don't.
A good institution.
They don't do that.
Churches don't want
they minimize, and it's all man and sky, man and God. It's just it's so bad.
Yeah.
And you don't know and if you grow up in that at all, like I was confirmed and I was Lutheran, and so I didn't know about any of these other definitions, and I started to like get more intelligent and be like, well, seems like kind of like a cult. Like I think I got stoned and I ended up going to church, and I was like, wait a minute, I feel like this is a cult right now. What is going on? And that was like the first time I started that was longer ago. But still, even after that, I didn't like abandon a belief in God, and it kind of took that time period where that happened to come full circle and realize that there had to be something. And so it was really kind of just a slap in the face moment with this whole God doesn't have to be what you are raised to think it was to be, even if you like got confirmed and had to go through all these steps. It's just so bizarre that there's a whole other God existence out there that people haven't even considered.
Dude, that spaghetti monster,
so minimized in their paradigms. It's messed up.
I love the spaghetti monster because they told kids, they're like, you don't have to believe in God, don't worry about it. All you got to believe in
God from a totally different
monster that he is in our own image. I mean, God's got to be so unimaginably complex that it's kind of like a fool's errand to try to nail him down, or her.
I try to tell somebody what it is, but that's
I actually I have a crazy inversion of that thought.
Or the creator.
There's a crazy inversion of that thought. Need any God be complex? Can God not be the simplest thing?
Right. Correct. It's the grand perspective.
Did you ever wonder, what did I do before I got here?
That's hard to actually conceptualize too. Then.
Yeah, but the way I consider it is why does this thing have to be more complex than me when it could just be a single word, complete, or infinite.
I am that I
I mean,
am.
you can describe this.
Yeah, like I
literally
often
with one
wondered
word,
about like
and it is simple. We're complex because we're weak in our simplicity.
Apophatic theology. Oh, sorry.
I often wondered if like the DMT elves or whatever are in like a higher dimension. And then I've heard people talk about 11 and 12 dimensions and stuff. It just doesn't feel right to me. I was like, it seems to me like God would be in like the first dimension, just like a point that's like all the energy contained in a point, and like everything is made up of infinite of these points, like literally like God.
Why can't plasma?
What's interesting is hearing like the people in the 15th, like the people in the 15th dimension, like they don't even know what God is. Like, because we think in our mind, like, okay, the next level, like we'll get it, we'll know.
Seth,
we'll
I think
all.
Seth
And
might
it's
have
like,
nailed it though.
It just doesn't seem to me like you need more than 5 dimensions.
Well, I still went with 10, even with what you said.
Physical
you start with
dimensions
0 as
or
God,
other
because God's
places?
the omega point. Alpha is
Right,
the
exactly,
omega
yeah.
is before the alpha, and then every connection of a point would be one of God's universes.
I'm sure you've done the thing with like a 3-dimensional like ball, and then 4th dimensional is like the ball is like movement, like time.
So you're
And then-
saying physical?
Yeah, and then 5th dimensional. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't have a mathematical mind like that where you're talking about dimensions just as like functions.
I was thinking like portals to other like parallel universes.
Right. Portals.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, that to me is the
All
5th
the above.
dimension would be like if the 4th dimension is the ball is moving through time, like movement time, then the 5th dimension would be like, all like conception of every possible point in time and every way it could go forward and backwards at once would be like infinity or like eternity. And then I don't see a need for anything beyond that. And like the only other thing to think about is like the simplest thing, like the first dimension, the point. And like
What about things we can't see now,
I
like that
according to
exist
the-
in a
you've-
different
you've seen
dimension?
You've seen the 10D explained video, 10 dimensions.
That's not a different dimension. A dimension is like we have a misconception from science fiction of what a dimension is. Like Star Trek, like you go through a portal and now you're in a desert, but it's blue, and that's
I'm in the time dimension.
That's not a dimension. A dimension is like an angle on the table, like length, width, depth. Like so, people misuse the word dimension to mean another. Like basically that's like another space and point in time, but that's
right. That's the idea. They're saying that it's going a different direction.
But yeah, what if these
time is
people
going a
want
different
you
direction?
get there?
Do
Like,
they
would
even
energy
conceive
or
energy
plasma be a dimension?
or time
It's-
like we do?
The idea of dimension is supposed to be the connection between two awarenesses. So you've got a point and another point, and they're connected somehow, psychologically or physically or whatever that means. But usually it has to do with consciousness and awareness. So you think of Pac-Man. Pac-Man is 2D, right? Because he's existing in X and Y coordinates, but he doesn't have Z coordinates, which is,
Right, exactly.
he would look at us like the Aurora Borealis. But if you think of it like the 5th dimension is a different timeline, to a different point, then you're already saying then that it's a different space. Like, so that space is a different distance, it's a different angle. So it
Okay.
makes sense then.
What about same space though, and you're seeing things that you couldn't? So like if you, for example, if you talk about grandmother ayahuasca or
looking in the Z direction, which you can't do with your physical hardware. So that's like, you need something to cross your wires. Like,
what are the different dimensions in that scale, Seth?
So they're hypothetical.
But that's
What
still
if
not
the
different
future
dimensions.
doesn't exist? So
The
we
reason DMT elves would be in a higher
experience
dimension is because they're hyper geometric. Like their geometric shapes are like
It would
changing
include space and time and other, like, so with Pac-Man we include 2D, but we also include 3D. So Pac-Man is like less than us, but we're also Pac-Man plus more.
It's how it
So
would be
they
if,
would have to
like,
be
you're reading
Would
a comic
5D
book and
even
all of a sudden the
experience
comic book
time?
character becomes aware of you, the reader, but like what direction
Good question.
is he looking in? Because he's on a 2-dimensional.
Does 5D experience time then? If it's beyond,
I think that time would then
because,
be like places.
In my conception, you'd be aware of all points in time at once.
Time
That's
would be places you could go. There'd be like
But-
locations.
What's the
but
Dr.
what
Manhattan
that would
quote
make free will
where
non-existent though, wouldn't it?
That would make what?
humans insist on
Free will not exist.
looking at time.
Exactly.
What
as,
wouldn't
like,
exist, Aaron?
free will.
I don't think free will would exist if all the point. I feel
Free
like
will is heavily restricted because you've got a lot of you have a range of probability, and even with our society, we have even less range of probability than we already had with our environment, and that's already based on physics.
what if all the rules are completely different once you get to the next dimension?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be so much about choice.
What if it's stuff we haven't conceived of, like, and can't conceive of because we don't exist in that way?
Well, it's also very possible that we are existing in the 5th and lower dimensions right now, and like we're just we're like what we consider to be is just totally focused on time passing reality. But like we might also just like we exist in the third and second dimension, even though we're focused on the fourth dimension, we also exist in the fifth dimension. In the same sense that you never worry about depth. Like, how often do you think about depth? Think about time.
Don't worry about it.
You never worry about depth or length. It just doesn't even occur to you. And then in the same sense, infinity doesn't really occur to us, but it's going on also.
A lot of people that like disappear, they're in national parks and literally they have a similar experience where like something happens, like there's a circular thing, and they go to a place and they have a similar experience, and there's all these reports over
Could
people.
be CIA too.
Is young children where all of a sudden that they speak of something coming out of a wall, but they're holding on to something. The being that comes through the wall that's holding on to something. And there's that guy. He had amazing research. He just passed away a few years ago. And but a lot of the people, there's people that disappear in national parks. My mom used to live in Yosemite Valley and Yosemite National Park. And
me too. Hell yeah.
What? You used to live in Yosemite? You used to live in Yosemite?
Yeah, I lived and worked there all of 2012.
What?
I spent a year there. It was
all of how? Wait, what year did you live there?
2012. We used to go to the Iron Door.
My mom is a florist. My mom and my sister do all the weddings at the flowers.
Are they north or south? Because I was right outside of Groveland.
Like literally, Yosemite Falls would like on her doorstep would spray you in the face, and people were like, "What does your mom live in a tent?" I'm like, "No, she lives." There's like a dozen houses. James Franco, in fact, his father lived across the street from her. Like, oh my gosh,
she was across the street from a sex cultist.
What, Mom? What are you into?
Anyways, I'm sorry. Continue. Yes, you should live as close to nature as you can in Yosemite.
But there's a darkness there, Nathan. There is a freaking darkness, and that's why.
Of course.
Oh man, but a darkness that I wasn't prepared for. Just like when I remote viewed Telos before that show for Vice. Yeah. And I came across, like, I went in it so naive. And then I came across such darkness that I was like driving up to you guys. Like, I don't know how I'm going to talk about. I came across cloning and this and that. And how do I say this to America? Like, I didn't ever want to talk about my visions or what I'm able to do. So it was like confronting all my fears at once. But regardless, like back to, there's things that can, in national parks that, a lot of the people that experience missing time, there's people that come back and their eyes are hollowed out and things are missing. But there's people that come back and they have similar experiences and they all have the same blood disorder.
That's like Manifest, man. That's the TV show that's straight out of the agency, I bet.
That cat lady reporter, Linda Moulton Howe, the one that's controlled by her cats. She has a good story about where a lot of people see the orbs that come into people's rooms and seem to float through walls and stuff, and like people or beings will come out of them, like they're as if they're the only way these beings can travel from one place to another, whether it be time, space, dimensions, whatever. But she believes that they are like able to like tiny portals that you can put a whole person into, and I don't know. I see.
Right, that's the thing. Yeah.
Do we want to go in them, or do we not want to?
We don't. I think it's not possible. So we don't. We shouldn't, and we can't. And this is the thing about it: is that the idea that it's another world, like so, the fifth dimension question. Like, and this is interesting because Seth's talking about, I don't know if there could be something beyond fifth dimension. If there is, what it means is like non-Euclidean, it's beyond our physics, it's beyond our perception, it has to do with dark matter and things we can't prove exist, etc. Because we
dark
can't
matter
experience them.
doesn't exist.
Or things we can't prove exist, or whatever that actually is.
Well, you can prove it doesn't, though.
Ether, Michelson Morley experiment.
The Odic energy. The Odic energy. Von Reichenbach has like a lot of stuff on the Odic energy and the Odic force they took out like 1850s and 40s.
But that's incredible. So the Odic forces might explain some of the things in the higher dimensions. And so one of the things,
crystallization.
Here's something I was reading. It says from here beyond the fourth dimension, we start to look at the higher dimensions. It's imperceptible to us. The researchers think because they exist on a subatomic level, these dimensions are curled in on themselves in processes known as compactification, kind of like Aaron's talking about. The dimensions here rely on deal with possibilities. So the thing about that is some people think, oh, well, that would mean it's just a different reality like this one. That doesn't necessarily mean that at all. And probably it doesn't. It probably means it's in the same sense that we have forward and backward as so different than up and down or in and out. Like the fact that there are these 3 dimensions and that time is as different as that, as a table is. Then there's probably something even beyond that that's so beyond comprehension. And if there's one of them, then what are the limits on what we can perceive about that? And so that's where you go ahead.
Reminds me of Rick and Morty with the battery. That's there's a little civilization in there that's making his battery work, and they keep going further and further down. And the little civilizations are making that person or city's battery work, and so on and so forth. What if like what we think of as space is like the pancreas of some kind of giant, not necessarily pancreas, but some kind of organ of something like so large that we can't. Like,
I want it to be the pancreas.
I don't want to be the pancreas. Let's
let's
be the heart.
Call it the spleen.
I want to be a helical heart. I want to be in a helical vortex heart.
It's like Horton here's the who.
3D print.
I would just hate to find out one day that I was like a part of a cell to something so large I couldn't conceive of it.
Right, that's like
we'd never find out.
That's yeah.
Pac-Man's a slice of us.
At that point, you reach the question to yourself: does it matter?
I think
exactly.
calling it a cell is already a lot.
Everyone already knows all the answers.
Thank you,
how we go about
Nathan.
finding the question and accepting it.
I think if you accept that to be true, then something else, something different matters than kind of like your worldly pursuits, and that's like a more of like a vibe and like a love thing. For me, the more I think about what reality really is,
but
love is like, or love or hatred or emotion is really.
But why is it so hard for us to love?
Dude, we're gonna make a movie, and it's gonna be about all the characters. We're gonna make a movie about Pac-Man and all the Pac-Man's people, and Mrs. Pac-Man. They're all fighting, and eventually they take a bunch of ayahuasca at like Pac-Man and his wife and everybody. They just like start merging like a stack of cards, and then they become like this person who's made it. We're all slices of.
But doesn't matter. I would say if you know, it doesn't matter. But when you don't know, it does matter, because if you're sitting here in a struggle with this belief in like God or source or energy or any of the dimensions or any of that, it's like, yeah, it does matter. And so making it as simple as telling an adult in their 30s that God doesn't have to be the way that you're whatever indicated,
blasphemer,
your beliefs. Yeah.
I have a question. Were the ghosts Pac-Mans that died?
They're technically. I saw JJ McCullough.
Oh shit!
The only one.
So we have a fourth dimension of Pac-Man because that is past and future Pac-Man.
Technically, they were little Cthulhu monsters, but that still checks out. But then they became ghosts over time, basically.
Oh, wow, that's
nothing the Western audience.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a thing on that somewhere. Pac-Man monsters aren't.
JP Lovecraft was Western.
Did I say that in this chat?
About that?
I have an idea I would like to propose to you guys. Like,
I'm in.
I feel like everything that I've learned throughout, like all the topics I've studied, I am self-taught in a lot of things. I have studied everything from religion, anthropology. I've been a hacker. I've been everything else at some point. I love new hobbies and learning new things. But like, I keep running into the evidence that supports that maybe there was a consciousness that like a singularity sort of, and it just sort of, the consciousness just kept splitting and splitting and splitting and splitting like fractals. And essentially we all, like the consciousness of everyone that has like self-awareness and whatnot, including planets, I believe. I've seen too many people channel planets that have blown my mind, like especially the show Talking about Planets, but I digress. I've seen increasingly more evidence, especially like in the last few years, that all of us, the more people that gather together, the more of a crazy large event you can manifest just by will and belief. And I feel like maybe every conscious living thing is what you guys would call God. And like say a spoon.
I got these naked Pac-Man ghosts.
Well, he's talking about individuals as God. I guess this is holy.
No,
but I agree.
Well, like if you go to a spoon bending circle, it never works unless there's someone that's been to one that believes 100% like hands down it's possible. If there's not one person like that in the group, then it never works. And or like when all the people gathered down in the Southwest and with the intention of seeing a bunch of UFOs, they see a bunch of UFOs every time. And I want to test this theory by hacking into the national emergency system, like, well, the worldwide version, like linking them all together and getting everyone on the planet to hear like the same statement in a way that to their culture would appeal in the most similar way between like every culture, every language, like all broadcast at once and see if it changes reality instantaneously, because I believe it would.
Yes, and this us coming together on New Year's, I'm like, gosh, if we came together, all these powerful souls here on the panel, all these powerful souls that are in the chat, because these people that are in the chat and that watch these channels are powerful. I don't care what you say, you fight with me. I mean, maybe there's probably like 10% that maybe aren't.
They're definitely not drinking fluoride, so they're one step above all my family members.
We came together with like with with intent of like, what do we want to do? What do we want to bring? Hey, you guys. Yeah. Hey, we put our power. We're the most powerful souls we got here on this plane, on this planet, in this realm, at this time. What are we going to do? What do we want to happen? Oh, okay, let's do it. Let's do it together. Like how powerful that is. That's so powerful.
Well,
we have to come together to do it.
All of the people like that all of us associate with have all been slowly gathering people in a large movement, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it seems like everyone's starting to vibrate like in similar frequency. I watch so many different people, and it's like everyone's on a similar page. Like as
on the internet, though,
harmonic resonance. You're vibrating.
Well, I've been on the internet since I was.
But
like
in your direct, scope of things, it's hard because it's like
Aaron,
hard to wake up someone next to you. So it's definitely more of the internet is waking up, but it's also this connected.
I live in West Virginia where everyone's like pagan Germanic descent and Irish descent, and like we got the Mothman, we've got giant mountain lions the size of tanks like that roam the forest. I swear to God, seen one myself. I don't know what Mothman is, but it's something. We've got Yetis. I mean, there's no one.
What vibe did you get? When you saw the Mothman, like what vibe? What did you get from the Mothman? You saw the Mothman?
I haven't. I think it's more, but my town has more Mothman sightings than any other place, like Point Pleasant, stuff like that. I live up the river from Point Pleasant. There's just a lot of intermixing. Like we had the Moxon warriors who were trained by the Native Americans who fought against both the North and the South in the Civil War to protect the dead and dying on Quincy Hill, which was like the major hillside in our town. Like all sorts of crazy stuff happened that you don't hear about here.
Isn't Mothman like a fallen angel, right? It's like a 7-foot tall like angel with like white.
I believe the version in Point Pleasant that signal before the bridge or whatever, I think that was just a banshee. There's a lot of banshee action. Like a lot of people see banshees around here. Like right before.
That's where they film. You're basically by the not too far from Tim's in the Blair Witch Project filming area. So yeah, it's like the whole the witches and the Appalachian kind of witch stuff.
Well, we're all on in the area where all the mound builders had their stuff too. Like I live along the Ohio River on the West Virginia side, and like Point Pleasant's right down the river from us, like an hour, and it's a little closer to the coal areas, but I mean it's still got the same like Ohio mound builder influence, like and mixed with Pennsylvania Dutch, Germanic, pagan, Black German, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of I don't know. I just did not grow up with anyone that wasn't like-minded and believes in all these things, like with a crazy mix of like a mountain Christian. That's the best way to describe it. Not the snake handling kind, but like the mix of the Irish Catholic or whatever, and the Germanic pagan and the Lutheran, and like.
Wow, that's nice for you, but around here, I was a teacher. I would buy 2 books of everything because eventually I was like going to share stuff on geoengineering with other teachers, like the science teacher. I was all ready to tell them about Wilhelm Reich, all these things. And it was, so I'd buy 2 copies. I'm like, all right, one day, either when I resign or when I have the courage, I'm going to tell all these teachers. I had everything printed out about political activist committees, about money, anyway, same with family. And it was very discouraging as you start to try to tell anybody anything, even when you think they're ready or whatever. So it's harder for me to say, oh, everything's changing. And I do believe what you're saying, Julia, and I buy into like the people are waking up. And I think it does take these connections on the internet. And hopefully through this, the more people that connect this way, then it'll eventually trickle down and start to reach like my sister or like a family member or a former coworker that heard me say something they thought was crazy, but they're like, oh, that's right.
Ready, teacher finds them. That's the way I see it.
It's earned, like learn. You can't spell learn without earned. You got to earn it. Like there's the natural gatekeeping of learning something. You earn it.
There is truth to, you can't be sure you're doing something right unless no one knows you're doing anything at all too. Like I wonder sometimes if it's good that we're running around like trying to educate people on like truth or topics or truthful or stuff like that. Like I feel like just using the stuff in the playbook of the powers that be currently, using their sort of, like they perverted Dianetics. Dianetics, in my opinion,
I was just thinking about that. We were all on the same page.
That's how I started. That's one of the things that started in psychology.
And then the CIA perverted it, and they used black Dianetics for advertising on television and everything else that is keeping people under control these days. And like,
but that's what
I wanted to use in schools. In your schools, the actual Dianetics.
Your point, Scientologists say, like, if you,
I don't even want to call it remote viewing. Like the government came up with that remote, like inner. I want to call it like inner juuling. Like we're all able to do it. We're all wired that way.
I agree.
But the Scientologists say if you know this stuff that you won't be able to sleep at night, and you have to be like, you got us there,
Well,
like a lot of the time.
A lot of Scientologists, though, they got the version of the teachings after he was driven. L. Ron Hubbard was driven crazy by LSD and the CIA and went all sailor party. Yeah.
You can say that. I was just saying.
I think
it's interesting. I think no, you gotta be careful because it is what it is. But like, I think at the end of the day, you look at what L. Ron Hubbard wrote, and it is very interesting.
I went in as a teacher to get that for mental wellness, like mental. All there was is mental illness and data on they're going to need medication. Everybody's going to be depressed. Everybody's going to be, and I was like, what the hell as a teacher? And I ended up finding the CIA, like before the CIA, the studies on Dianetics and the concept of that. And I was like, where did this go? Why don't I have this for my students? I had no idea it was connected to any of the things it was. And then I went down these rabbit holes and it was like, but I studied LRH before I even knew he was involved in Scientology or involved in science fiction writing. I was like, who is this Lafayette Ron Hubbard idea? So I was just no idea. And so I was looking at all of the actual psychology because I was getting my PhD. So I had access to all this information and studies, and it was fascinating. And I said, this should be in schools. And I was like, I see
with a sun hat
where
it went. Scientology.
Oh yeah.
Temple.
Then after I found that, I was like, wait, he's with Scientology? Because my dad's like, Brittany, that's the guy that writes the science fiction. I was like, what? And I talked to someone else, and they're like, he's the Scientology guy.
You see, I teach people about it before I tell them who wrote it.
So then I investigated.
He really had over the founding of the formal religion. You know what I mean? Because like Jesus lived nothing like modern Christianity, or that it's named after him, but it's like it has nothing to do with what he was.
Wouldn't even shave.
If you got to read the Immortality Key, that talks a lot about
monetize his stuff.
He's probably sponsored. I think he had Adidas sandals.
I run across so many people that it's like, Julia, you're so gifted. Like, why are
he did have like a one piece.
Why am I not monetizing?
Like Jesus wore this one piece fabric that was like a single piece of fabric stitched through. And I'm serious. It was like very expensive. That's not a cheap thing to get at the time. It's not sewn anywhere.
Like silk.
and it's white. Like, do you know how hard it is to maintain white even today? Like, imagine then.
That'll
So,
make you stand out just because you're clean.
Yeah, Jesus was all about washing of the feet. Like, people don't get this, but yeah, he had kind of this vibe.
Well, everything
I think.
everything I'm shown, and I'm shown some things from some higher dimensional or some advanced beings, and everything I'm shown is like purify, and it shows me in different ways. And there's this ancient way of going into the waters, and these waters affect like our largest organ is our skin, and it penetrates from that. And this water is so high frequency, and our body absorbs it and becomes that, and just purifying our blood. And what happens is the result of that, and the clarity that comes in the result of that. So that's why detoxing and fasting is so important. And you
is there?
Huh?
No, I was gonna say, is there a place to find that water? Like when you're remote viewing, are you looking at a certain location where it exists?
I come across it all the time. In fact, Brittany, when you sent me a message that was like, "Hey, we can't go to Shasta. Like, where can we film?" And I did a remote viewing session of like, where can they film? Like entrances. I did the more specific you are with a remote viewing, the better, right? And you had sent me a message saying like where like entrances to inner Earth. And so I did a session on it, and boy, Brittany, did that blow my mind. Like, thank you. I have notebooks full of what that resulted from. And then even showing me like volcanoes are certain things, and there's certain things that are volcanoes, and there's certain things that are water geysers that you think are volcanoes. And then coming across things in Antarctica, like, because everyone always, as a remote viewer, asks, please remote view Antarctica. And I'm like, oh no.
Get a Fitbit, right?
But what I came across,
telling us what shape it is.
But what I came across, I have all these drawings. It's very, very specific, And
we barely got to skin the surface. And just to kind of validate this, we were filming, and there was like camera crews and everything else. And Julia pulled me aside, and people are filming and wanting her. She's like, Brittany, I need to talk to you. That stuff you said to me, just hold on. It's like freezing. We haven't eaten for hours. We're like starving. I had never been involved in anything like this. I'm a friggin' teacher. I still don't know what the hell I was doing. Who are these
people?
Still don't know what the hell I was doing.
What's from
I never will know what I was doing there. But I'm there representing the lead researcher in Hollow Earth. Yes, you're welcome, everybody. Andreas. Okay. So I go there, and Julia, who I was like, and I'm going to talk to her tomorrow about how I was like, I'm not doing the show. If she's on it, I'm not doing it. She's like a remote viewer. I like was going to leave. There was drama on the set because I was like, I'm not. She's going to discredit the whole recent Tartarians movement.
That was day
She's going to discredit. I'm like, Nathan, I can't do this anyway.
Like, they're going to make us look stupid. They're here to make us look stupid.
But she pulls me aside, and I had just like read all these documents that were just anyway very deep, and I was trying to get caught up. But she had pulled me aside and had all these questions for me, and so she was kind of just really intrigued more by a lot of the science, what she was seeing. If I had read anything, I'm like, dude, we got to talk to Nathan about this because
they spent 5 hours.
It was nuts.
We were
you were there. Yeah.
We were at the beach chilling for about 5 hours. They brought us sandwiches and all that shit. But for I would say about 2.5 of those 5 hours, Brittany finally let her walls down.
I was getting some humble pie.
She went from being guarded and polite to, wait a sec, hold on, wait a sec.
What did you just say? Like,
too? This too? And they broed out so hard.
Yeah, we did. It was nuts. I was the biggest skeptic I was like, I wasn't going to go. I was like, there's a remote viewer. I don't know if I believe
Check out my 3D printed Pillsbury Doughboy.
Anyway.
All in piece like the Christ Road.
It was a faster bonding than the garage scene in Step Brothers. It was a faster relationship than two lesbians meeting each other.
Wow.
Like they moved in.
No. What fucks me up is that I see far behind. Like I see far. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this. Like I see far in the future on people and things. And so there's things with Brittany and even with Andreas that I meet him and I see far in advance, and then I'll speak to them and it fucks me up because then I'll speak to them at that point and they have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
Is it
what
like unconsciously knowing cause and effect? Like your brain maybe
you live like that,
figuring it out.
It's a curse,
really
man.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
the
like-
gift.
the way
It's called the
I-
gift of Cassandra, where you see prophecy and you
Yeah.
can tell people what they can't understand. Right?
Well, I
It
get
is
it.
Right.
I
And
totally
so
do.
it
looking
fucks
at
me up
an
because
old
it's like,
person
how do these
and
people?
seeing
So
the
that's
child that they were, but both ways.
and a lot of the times of what I'm shown of what people is they'll come to me and they'll ask me like, hey, and you know, and they'll have some question of like, hey, my professional athleticism career, or hey, this and that, and what it shows me is their traumas, their wounds, their biggest things, their biggest blockages.
Yep.
You know, that they need to get over. And so I'm like, oh gosh, you know, and it'll show me sexual traumas. Like, hey, you know, this person, they were this age when their cousin pulled out their blah and they sucked their blah and their blah. And, you know, I'll see it and there's no denying in that. And that needs to be healed and that needs to be confronted. And so seeing that, but there's gosh, there's no hiding that. But I got completely. I'm off.
No, that's
I'm off track. Oh,
no. We're just talking about I went off track because I was saying validating what you're talking about. Because if anybody's watching this, and they're like,
That
"We're
answers
not
really
so
viewing."
there's times where I don't know what it
Poo-poo.
means. So like,
Yeah.
there's times where I'm talking to Brittany.
I was
and
still
Brittany's
stuck
like,
at
"Fuck this
Dianetics.
bitch." And Brittany's like, fuck this bitch. This bitch is a psyop. Like, she's fucking CIA. Like, she's fucking no good. And
She
I'm
just
talking
paid to
Brittany
be
as though
here.
I've seen the future of like her and I working together and getting along together. And you know,
Weird.
and
And
coming
now we
together.
are. It's weird.
And so I'll talk to her, and so I'll say certain things and certain visions or whatever that align with that, and it's like, oh, like it messes me up.
You know that in the
Even with
future, that's
Andrea.
going to be an
I get
impact that I don't know. That in the future, yeah.
And so
Ho,
then
ho,
it
ho.
makes me
I
very
need to be
guarded
me.
of like what to say and when to say it because I'll
Yeah.
see things further in advance. And then if you notice, my biggest insecurity, my biggest struggle is like, well, not only am I insecure about like it's how I communicate. It's what I have a hard time translating what I see. I see so much and I see so deeply and I see so far that that it's misinterpreted. You know, they're like, oh, this chick's a bimbo. Like, oh, what the fuck is she saying? You know, is she wasted? Like, and so I've been for so long, I've been pretending
The
like
California
I can't do what
accent's so hard. I had that like all my life. Dude, bro, what's up? I'm Smurf. I used to go by Smurf. My name is
does
Smurf.
that
I'm just editing this, bro.
rainbow.
It does
Bro,
not
have you ever
fade.
heard of nanotechnology, bro?
You never
Graphene,
forget
bro.
that accent. Once you pick
But-
it up, you never.
And I
forget
love
it.
that everyone thinks I'm from
Free energy.
Philadelphia. I'm like, where do you think I'm from? They're like, New York. I was like, thank you. They're like,
Philadelphia.
wait,
Sound like
from I think you're
normal
from
to me.
Pennsylvania. They say
We call
Pennsylvania.
California accent normal here.
Where are you at? Where's
No.
here?
West Virginia.
I
I'm from
have
West
an
by
accent.
God, Virginia. It's my right to be stupid.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do I have an accent to you guys? Can you hear me still? But
Home
Yeah,
of the
you can.
original redneck.
if I had an accent,
Like
just in the chat.
I
I'm
hear
trying
a
to get rid
little.
of
That
my
accent is
accent.
soothing. It soothes me. It makes me feel more comforting and earthly.
I'm not asking. Like you can hear a difference in my accent. Do I? I don't believe you on
Like,
that. Maybe
this is
Oh
for
like
yeah,
an
you.
you
echo.
have the thickest accent here, Brittany.
What?
Really, you have to
No,
tone it
from
down.
me. What? Who's saying this? This is coming from a foreigner. I'm not in the chat anymore.
Brittany, your
Oh,
accent makes
Brittany.
me feel like I forgot to take the fucking garbage out.
Oh no!
But I love
What does
you.
that even mean?
But no, like
I don't know what that
And
means.
watching
I-
Brittany and
I-
Andreas together in a public setting, they argue exactly like an old Greek or an old Jewish couple would. Andreas
Whatever.
just goes, Brittany goes, should I use these chopsticks like this? And Andreas goes, I don't know, maybe if you wore a better shirt, then we wouldn't have got such a bad booth. What?
Oh my god!
What?
who was there is great.
And they do that shit
Nathan!
day in, day out.
Is that a
It's
quote? I don't
Wow,
remember.
I think that is
like
that a direct quote, Nathan?
Yeah, that's a direct quote.
That's a nailed it.
Oh my
Wow.
god. Y'all argue
I
like
don't want to
the-
be
like the
typecast,
parents
but
from my big fat Greek wedding.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I really liked it though. The Windex thing.
I don't know if I'm on. Am I not?
Like I've just never heard colder burns from Andreas when he's just like, Jesus Christ, you really fucking wore that shirt. Like here we are in this place and you really put that shirt on. And Brittany's
What
like,
was the
I'm
shirt?
trying to
Trying to
split the
compliment.
check.
What
Can
was
you
the
hear me,
shirt?
Nathan? Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, that's hilarious.
Which shirt was this?
I don't
Was this
even
one
know.
of the- is it
No,
a Vice
this is
special?
No,
funny.
it's
just
just a
in general.
Oh,
Generally
it was when we were at the-
speaking, yeah, no.
Andreas has no place
He can
criticizing
see.
anyone
Yeah.
on their shirts.
or something. It's just he's saying in
Hey,
general.
my
about
shoes that's satisfying
something.
your girlfriend. Well, the one I was wearing.
My favorite line from the entire 2 weeks that we did for that Vice show
Like your old
was Andreas. How did it go? Andreas was like, "Yeah, my shirt," and I was like, "That's a crazy shirt." And he gave me this whole spiel like, "I wear exciting shirts because this and because that and because this," and I was like, "Yeah, but
For the
have you
week.
seen it upside down? It's just random shape."
I'm lost.
Oh, Bar.
Crazy shirts are fun.
Andreas actually peacocks.
I do too. It's like shock value. Except I'll be wearing like elf ears, paint my skin green, and like only be half wearing clothes and walk into the mall like just and act like nothing's wrong. Like the cowboy hat. I'd never normally wear that.
Okay,
I'm worried when I wear normal looking clothes
Andreas-
that people will like not know better and they'll walk up to me and they won't know I'm insane.
So Andreas will wear a shirt that looks like a wall painting from a background of Saved by the Bell, while he wears a sarong to the bank.
There's a feedback loop. Is that Julia or was that coming
No,
from?
it's probably me.
It's Julia.
I was like, that's a crazy.
Julia, you
That's
gotta mute.
Julia,
Yeah,
I have no
Let's
control.
listen to
with
me
the
again.
exception of remote viewing, I feel like I say exactly like what Julia said as far as how she feels. Like I feel like I say exactly like what Julia said.
Doing a rap on the New Year's stream with my favorite team in the Tartarian scene. Okay.
Recent Tartarians.
Recent Tartarians.
Someone's talking, and I hope that they get their chance again. Here we go.
That's the only thing you can do. If you can't stop it, you have to go with it. That's,
Oh,
Go with the beat.
I'm back.
I don't know. Maybe that's dangerous. I feel like we're more of a reset crowd. It's like as the beat is ending, you have to start the new beat so that as the song ends, the new song plays, or else
With
people
similar
start
BPMs.
killing the DJ.
Kind Go on the whole group, so to speak.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
wait a
have
second.
one question before I leave, man. I'm still thinking about Pac-Man this whole time. Like, is Pac-Man?
Seth, I love you.
Pac-Man's world a cylinder just represented as a flat square for our convenience to play the game on a screen? Is it actually a cylinder, and that's how you go out the left and
Yes.
on the right? And is there any cylinder Earth theory? You know what I mean, where it's like flat Earth, but it's just wrapped around like that, but you can't go to the North or South Pole because it just ends.
Right. So Pac-Man's inside of like a hollow earth kind of thing where he's going around the inside, which is why he can come out.
Inverted sphere.
That's why he's coming. Yeah, you're inside of a cathode ray tube and it's projected, but
You're
you're
inside
able
his
to
heart.
see it as a flat. So he's inside and he's going around, and that's why you're like, trust me, Pac-Man. If you go west, you're gonna come back out east.
But
That's
how
just
come
how
you
it
can't
works.
go north and come out south, and also you could wrap?
You can. If you go
It's a
north, you
round.
come out south. With Pac-Man, you go
round.
north, you come out
Can you?
south. Yeah, you go up, you come out the bottom. Yeah.
Really?
Mm,
Is it
Well,
only
I
Miss
still don't
Pac-Man?
trust it. I still
Is it
don't
only
trust
Miss
anybody.
Pac-Man?
It's only left and right on
involved.
Pac-Man. You can't go off the top. There's no exit off the
Is
top.
this a Mandela effect? Hold on.
This might
I'm
be.
really
exit
about
on
to
the top.
play
The line
Pac-Man.
goes all the way
Me
across.
thinking Chris Angel was dead is a Mandela effect.
Maybe I'm talking about Mrs. Pac-Man.
Mrs.
Isn't
Pac-Man
Chris Angel
is totally
dead?
Julia.
Mrs.
No,
Pac-Man can go up and down.
Chris
Oh my
is
god.
I'm
As the
still
book so
here,
below with Mrs.
by
Pac-Man.
the
What
way.
the hell is
I'm
that?
here.
I'm still there in audio, but not in video.
Julia's dancing in the background.
I didn't know you could go up and down in Miss Pac-Man.
I'm dancing too,
Yeah,
but nobody
it's a-
can see me. I'm
See, that
dancing with
doesn't
you,
make any
Julia.
sense though, because you
My
can't wrap a
camera's
square
dead.
around a ball. You can only wrap a square around a cylinder.
You guys want me to
Yeah.
dance?
But I don't think it's really a square. I think it is like because it's
You
just
have
you're seeing it
scissors?
as a square, but you're
A rectangle
I have to
within
look
a
at this.
triangle.
Well,
Hold on.
You
of
have to
course,
stretch
it's a
it to take
Mobius
it and make
strip.
it- Yeah, we got to figure it out.
Oh, we have 6 minutes till the next New Year's in
Oh, guys, we're
California.
up to the next New Year's.
We got to make it at least 6 more
Seth, you got
minutes.
to stay for 6 minutes. I
Oh,
don't know what happened.
I'm here in voice.
Fireworks.
Bernie, you should
well,
let me
if you
back
want,
in.
You gotta do what you
if
gotta
you
do.
can.
I'll just open my window. It's pretty
It's so
cool.
powerful. Thank
Whoa.
you.
Seth, did you see your best outro? By the way, sorry,
was that?
on Based when you tuned out the other
Oh,
day.
that was awesome. I aimed.
That was my favorite thing.
Oh, you're
I timestamped it. I posted it. I was like, timestamp. 33.
I was just in such a rush to like close.
He's
the
like, all right,
stream.
see you guys. And then he
Yeah.
just zoomed
I
in
literally
the
went
crotch
like
shot.
that.
Everybody's like,
I honestly feel like this is a Mandela
Props.
effect because I remember being able to go north and south in Pac-Man. I felt like I was good at it, and all of a sudden you can't.
I think you played your own
What
games.
the hell's
Dude,
happening?
the whole time.
I remember.
It means you're gay.
That's why they laughed at Rudolph. He used to play his own games.
You go 4 Mandelas
Kind
back,
of like
you're
that
gay.
weird
That's
reindeer,
the-
Andreas.
That's horrible. I don't know. That's really horrible. The thing about the Mandela effect, though, is that
You
it's
guys
not
make me
true.
giggle
So,
so
like,
hard.
I'm now scared. What's going on?
I am one CERN trip away from being right.
Oh my god, that's scaring me
Side
so
effect.
5
hard.
minutes.
That's like a big part of my life is Pac-Man.
Seth, do you know Old Lang Syne? Can you reggae up an Old Lang
You know, I
Syne
knew- I
version?
knew how to do that like in 2018, but I was thinking about that, but no. Just no.
Okay, fine. Fine. No pressure.
Brain check.
I also
Andreas
put
already
away
did a
childish
version.
things.
I played a lot of Christmas songs this year. I played 14 different Christmas songs this year on my stream.
Seth, when's the last time
Aw.
you did a parasite cleanse?
That I've done a parasite cleanse.
Mhm.
I think I'm always trying to like eat like spices and stuff like cloves, but I don't know what counts as an actual cleanse.
You have to
Yeah.
be careful about the amount of
Parasites
eugenol
for me?
that you consume.
Eugenol? Did you say eugenol?
I'm from
So-
the East Coast. This is all Greek to me.
Well,
This is a random
this
question.
is-
Just wondering, Seth. Don't worry.
This is basic knowledge.
Did she see Perry? She's like, oh, she's got like magic vision. Is she seeing them full of parasites or something?
Oh.
Am I
She's
full
just
of
like,
There's so
I
much I
hope
can't
he's
say.
free of worms.
Oh my
No.
god! Now I'm worried that I'm like, she can
Just do a parasite cleanse, Seth. Just do it.
How do you
She
do it?
recommends walnut, green walnut, and black walnut. I
Okay.
think
She's
were
talking
the
about
black
toxic
walnut.
friends.
T-shirt.
I don't know. We're all guessing. We're
Or
all
just,
guessing.
you know what? Just get the ivermectin paste at 1.87. Oh my God. It will change
And you
your
just
life.
paste your
It's
tank
so
in a
amazing.
Just take
clockwise.
vitamin C and E and never get sick.
I thought about the ivermectin, but I'm hesitant to take like a big fart.
Oh, you're back.
Now, well,
Ready?
hold on. The
There are still
ivermectin
massive
pills
drawbacks.
is a watered down version of the ivermectin and what that can do.
Yeah,
And
get that
then the
paste.
ivermectin
Need
paste.
it though. Like I
And
need.
then
Get
doing
that paste for the
the
horse, you know?
medical,
But how
like,
come you're
oh my
recommending it to
God.
me specifically?
No,
Green
Man, it wouldn't be the
and
first time that I've had to go into a
break-
drugstore to buy drugs for my
Oh, wait, I
horse.
want to hear
you
the
know?
answer. Like, am I infested?
Hey,
Everyone's
we got
infested
farm
with
stores
parasites.
around here.
Yeah, Seth, like isn't that the esoteric knowledge you've gained here? Is that everyone is infested with parasites?
Yeah, but
Like,
mine are
it's-
cool.
Mine
Yeah,
are-
right. I think the
mine
thing is
are
gut fauna is an
advanced
interesting.
knowledge.
What if it's like Horton Hears a Who and they're having like Hillville Christmas down there, and then I eat too many cloves and kill them?
Yeah, I mean
Genocide.
that's
Be
the
like
thing
the
people will be
DSM
careful
and
about.
Shit,
just
man, if you like them,
excuses
you like that
to not fix
relationship.
things
You gotta be
yourself.
careful. Sometimes the I Ching doesn't want to make you spill your belly full
If
of
I have
your
parasites,
ladle
I'm
full
gonna
of
get rid of
spirits.
them. But I mean, somebody tell me what to do. I just eat black walnuts.
You
Like
know
a
what you
truffle
really
pig.
do?
Go
You listen-
C60.
Spanish
you
Iberian
Apple
pork
cider
is nothing
vinegar.
but
No,
black
Listen
walnut.
to Dr. Narco Longo and eat oranges for 6
recommend-
months.
I recommend. Okay, I say
Oranges.
do the Dr. Holta Clark, the green black walnut tincture with the wormwood and the garlic cloves, or you just go straight to the ivermectin paste,
Garlic
which is
cloves are
1.87.
crazy,
The ivermectin paste, or you could go balls to the wall and
And
get the
SURND.
turpentine. Get the
What are we doing
turpentine.
here?
I did buy a
Oh,
bottle of
man.
turpentine with
I'm
no
a
intention
man,
of
and I'm
doing
gonna
it, but I
do
We're
was-
about the countdown is a minute away.
But I do
Yeah.
have a
Randy,
bottle of
Randy,
pure pine.
damn
All
it.
right, California New Year's a minute away. Just letting you guys know.
Yeah, I got my air gun ready to fire off.
Holy guacamole,
My
bro!
sister just got here. You guys
Oh,
want
You
to say
can't.
hello?
You should put that down. Put that down. We're not having that on TV.
Seconds to
Aaron, put it down.
It's a paintball gun.
Yeah.
It's a paintball gun.
Still,
no
okay.
Prove it.
Yes. See?
Prove it.
Put it down. They won't let you have it on
Nice.
TV. Yeah, that's awesome. But they'll get canceled. They'll like
Prove it.
full screen.
Are we pulling swords too, or what's
I
going
No,
on?
yeah, we gotta play it straight. We gotta play
On
it
my
straight, no
channel.
weapons.
Actually, the videos of those on my channel have more hits than anything else. Believe it or not.
This is the
Guys,
my
don't
sister-
text about it. Don't
My
mention
sister
it.
just
Just
got
forget
here.
about
She's
it.
staying with me. I live by
Hey,
all
what's
the
up?
Hi.
That's on
Did you
Trinity.
say
Happy
that
New
you live by
Year's.
all the
Seth,
garden?
he lives in
Guys, we have
Happy New
the
Year.
Happy New Year's count starts in 15, 14, 13, 12, 10,
Oh, Bridget, we're here for the
9,
countdown.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Six,
4,
five,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1, 0.
1.
Who knows? All the times are different. It's all it's lies. Time
Happy
is an
New
illusion.
Year.
It's all in the lie. All we have is now. Be here now.
Happy
I
new
just woke
fiscal
everyone
year.
Fireworks.
West Coast is the only one, the best coast, I guess. So we had to count it like
Oh yeah,
that.
they're throwing off the M80s now. It's raining pretty hard out
I
there.
like not being by the coast in case we have a cold flip. No water sloshing.
Fireworks.
Aaron, hit the gong. Hit the gong, Aaron.
And she wants to talk.
My fireworks
Yeah.
are going bananas.
There you go, guys. There you go.
Okay, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's.
New Year.
Happy New Year's, madam.
Andreas.
Yeah, last night I was building on the deck until 5 a.m. and make my neighbors really angry. Yeah.
So lit. I was out while you guys were all podcasting. I was out.
You hear the fireworks?
Yeah. Andreas, where are you?
Love is all you need.
My favorite shirt.
What did you
Lava
say?
is all you
Lava is all you need, Brittany.
Love,
Yes,
right?
baby.
Yeah.
Lava is all you need.
And fireworks. And lasers.
What's your word for 2023?
My
Can
word?
you hear her? She wants
Bananas.
to know what your
Banana.
word is. What is it?
Yeah.
Banana.
What is it?
We're gonna call bananas bananas.
Banana.
Banana. Banana.
Oh, if I was on my computer, I'd do the minion voice mod thing.
Oh, you can do the minion banana?
Yeah, I got a voice changer on my desktop.
Sweet.
I didn't get to meet your sister officially.
We are now in 2023, several times over. Welcome to 2023. It's going to be a pretty good year. I will admit, as much as I'm like, about time space, I'm pretty convinced 2023 is going to be a good space to be in.
2023 is going to be an amazing year. You wait
It's hard to
until
go down.
the
Well, it's going to be
experience I got.
oriented, and there's going to be a lot of reveals because of where Pluto is heading. You know,
But
and,
the question is, are the reveals like
Wireless
man,
work I'm working on. See that, Andreas?
Wait, hold on. My
What are
sister
they?
wants to talk to
Wireless
you.
work I'm working on. That's the next project.
but
Bridget.
is that the one where you were wanting the magnetic concrete or whatever you were
No,
talking about the other night?
that's a different configuration. I'm using this configuration for the one that's going to be in geopolymer.
I wish I could solo you. I'm sorry. It's beautiful. Bernie, I don't know if you can hear us.
It's 3-dimensional.
Oh, 3D. Julia, look at that.
You could. I don't know if you could see the layers in that one.
Wow.
I'll give you a little bit.
I'll give you a
I don't know
better
what's
example.
happening. but,
Large-breasted women running in my family.
Okay. The word is
I like that conversation. I'm just kidding.
smash or roll.
So you can see.
Wait,
I feel like the best of both
That's
worlds.
always been that's the
Bridget,
kind
there
of
was a guy
wild
howling
look
outside
that I
of my
was
house.
seeking out for
That copper is
The guy that
thick,
was howling
Gerald.
outside my
Right,
house
I
was like,
know.
I
It
was
looks
like, why are
nice.
you howling outside my house? He's like, I want to know.
How much
Yeah,
in
this
copper
one.
is it?
What is happening?
I think this
Bridget.
one's
There was a guy
150
howling
feet
right
aside.
here.
I'd have to look at my notes. It's
And
by
I said, what
Fowler,
are
so
you
it's
doing?
What gauge?
250 feet this way.
And he was like,
This
wanna
one
go out with
is
and I
20
was like,
gauge.
dude, I'm filming
That's
something.
some
The middle
thick
guy is
stuff.
So,
talking. The guy
this
with-
one's
Oh, why
tri-filer
is
as
he
well.
talking? Oh, I need to mute
Actually,
this.
it's
I
not
never got your
bi-filer.
email
This
the
one's
other day.
bi-filer. I'll have to slap it in the chat for you.
Yeah, because
So,
I think I sent Simon the books that I think that I was supposed to send to you, and I also sent it to S. Rod.
Oh.
Like the ones on the Russian.
Well, that's all good. I'll make sure I drop my email in the chat.
I can probably forward
That's
it.
epic, Gerald. I love that. And so
Wait
you've
till you
got.
see the net. Working on like so many projects right now. It's just the way my brain works.
I forget. Do you have a
finishing
3D
my
printer? Or are
wireless
you printing
project.
cases for it, or is that? Are you doing the 3D? Do you need 3D
No.
printed cases? We should send you some cases.
I don't have a 3D printer.
I could 3D
Everything
print some
I
cases.
work on.
Yeah, if
Maybe
we need
that's
some
something
dimensions.
we'll have to discuss.
Yeah, whatever you need, man. We'll get some stuff for you because like that's awesome what you're building. That's awesome.
Hey, I gotta get up out of here, everybody. But Happy New Year's,
Dude, Seth, thank you so much for coming.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, man.
I'll do my classic outro. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, bro.
Nathan, we have questions.
Okay.
That's the way to do it.
Wait.
Baby.
Never mind.
Nathan just had a baby.
Never mind. Sorry.
Julia.
Nathan is amazing.